morning, football fans, and welcome to 3 and Out, brought to you by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. This is me, your boy Larry B. bringing to you on a beautiful Wednesday evening. It is Wednesday, October. That's right, Joe. October. The Sports Junction is officially here. October 2nd, 2009, and we are ready for 3 hours of back-to-back, action-packed, wall-to-wall football coming your way as we will bring you the week of the NFL and the week to come. We are now officially done with the first quarter of the season. My gosh, that came so fast. But I'll tell you what, the second quarter of the season is going to be a lot better, and so on and so on. So let's have some fun here tonight, shall we? Let's do it. All right, so starting things off last Thursday, what in the world was everybody thinking? I mean, hey, Aaron Rodgers is pretty damn good, but these Eagles, just a little bit better. Here we go on to Sunday. Raiders, excuse me, what? They're a football team that plays football and wins games? I wasn't aware of that. Colts, yeah, you didn't look so well. Titans and Falcons, please call the search party and ring bell because, ladies and gentlemen, the Falcons' offense and defense is officially on watch. I don't know where they are, but we got to find them. Titans, not too shabby. Patriots and Bills, how is this not bigger of a gap? I'm not sure, but we'll talk about that. Chiefs and Lions, oh my, this was such a great game. Mad props to Matt Patricia, but Andy Reid and his Chiefs prevail. Chargers, Dolphins, well, that was a given. Giants defeat the Redskins. Someone please explain to me how that even happened. Browns over the Ravens. Hey, look at the Browns are playing like the teams that are on paper. Looks like they're going to avoid me calling them a paper team this week. Panthers and Texans, probably the game of the week. Panthers edge out the Texans in a battle. Buccaneers upset the Rams in quite the hilarious fashion. I'm sorry, Rams fans. Seahawks over the Cards. Once again, the NFC version of Chargers and Dolphins. Bears over the Vikings, and the Vikings continue to be unimpressive. Like I said, last week they beat the Raiders, JV team. Whoop-de-doo. Bears, you know what? They're rocking and rolling. Jaguars defeat the Broncos in the Broncos' second loss of the season by a field goal in the closing moments of the game. Saints and Cowboys was one for the books. Saints edged out a good one. Bridgewater proves his worth, and Steelers blow out the Bengals. Ladies and gentlemen, you are officially tuned in live to 3 and Out right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Welcome, football fans. Well, here we are. We have ourselves quite the show to get into tonight. A little late, my bad, guys. I got hung up at work a little bit. Here's what it is. We're back. We're ready to do the dang thing. And I'll tell you something. We're going to have some fun tonight. We got not just one, not just two, but finally 3. Finally, for the first time all season, we actually have, it only took till the 5th show, but we finally have all 6 people for primetime face-offs tonight, so I'm really excited about that. We should have ourselves a lot of fun there. We'll introduce them as we go, but actually I can introduce them real quick because we actually have some really great people coming up on tonight. We always do, but great stuff coming up tonight, of course. Mr. Brian McLaughlin will actually be joining us tonight. He will be jumping on here from the Common Grounds podcast, talking about his Seahawks, as well as another podcaster jumping in here tonight, talking about his Rams. Steve Ribeiro, looking forward to talking with him and his podcast as well, the Butting Heads Pod and Talk Rams Pod. So excited to talk about with those two today in our first primetime face-off. Also, INDvsKC. We got 2 newcomers tonight going head-to-head. Really excited for this one, man. Mr. Bobby Tuzinski, I believe, and Mr. Matt. Very common. He wanted to keep his name common. Diehard Colts fan tonight. 2 brand new newcomers. And then another newcomer who is very excited, Miss Jess, will be joining us tonight to take on the man who has been all over the show in the last month because his Browns have been all over primetime. Mr. Benny White. Ben White returns to the show tonight. So we have 3 primetime face-offs coming your way. Going to be some fun. But with that said, as I was going to say, all glory to God. Without God, nothing's possible. That's right, y'all. This is the man above, of course. so happy to be alive today. And big ups to all the listeners out there who make this thing happen, y'all. We couldn't appreciate you more. We thank you so much for letting us, continue to do what we do. 5th year. I mean, this is the 6th season, 3 and Out. Tonight, immediately following the show, we have the season 6 premiere of The Neutral Zone with Mr. Nico Green and Kel Henderson. So they're in their 6th season as well. I mean, this is like 3 of the oldest shows. Well, 4 actually. 5 actually. The Defining Moment, 3 and Out, The Neutral Zone, Ring Rambling Radio, and the Stalker Schoolbook Show, the oldest shows here at IE Sports Radio, but we've had some fun, and certainly super excited to have every one of them a part of this. So, got it right now. Big ups to my boy here, man. We actually are talking about some big things coming up in the future for both 3 and future shows, and, well, not to spoil anything, but the soon-to-be host of his brand new show that I am so excited to bring about this year. And put this on our station, just continue to grow our brand. And yeah, like I always say, guys, he should be hosting the show, man. As a matter of fact, he should be hosting the show so much we just had to give him his own show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the one, the only, the chief editor of the IE Sports Radio blog, and just all around sports and nuts. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only. I guess got to say this: the great, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mike Pat. What's going on, Mike?
Larry, I think your introduction is going to get longer every week, so I think at some point we're going to have to stop. Maybe when it takes about 5 or 10 minutes, we'll have to.
Hey, what can I say, man? I can't find enough good things to say about you, brother.
Well, I appreciate that. Same to you.
Thank you. I appreciate the heck out of you, man. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get things started for this week. We don't have a whole bunch of time. We know we started a little bit late, but we're going to just kind of chop through the week. But first things first, I mean, Mike, start things off, man. Give us the game that was most intriguing to you this week.
My most intriguing game was actually the very first game of the week, I think. Philadelphia and Green Bay. Here's a game that the Thursday Night Football game where a lot favored the Packers. Not a lot felt that Philadelphia had gotten into much of a rhythm yet this year, or had a very consistent offense. And you're going into Green Bay, which is a very difficult place to play, especially as long as Aaron Rodgers is in town. With an improved defense and great weapons. And I think most of us thought that Green Bay was going to steamroll the Eagles. Even the Eagles fan who was in the primetime showdown last week, Mr. Earl, picked the Packers to beat his Eagles. So, very little. I think the Twitter poll was what, 82%, Larry? 83%? Like that. And so nobody felt the Eagles were going to do anything, and they come in and they literally run all over the Packers, 176 rushing yards. Both Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders had a great game. Jordan Howard went off for 3 touchdowns, so fantastic performance by him. Carson Wentz was steady, and Green Bay did well, but they made just a couple too many mistakes. Aaron Rodgers threw the pick. They didn't get any pressure on defense, no sacks. Aaron Rodgers also had a fumble. And, so Philadelphia, talk about an underdog story, probably one of the bigger underdogs for the weekend, going into Green Bay and winning this game was huge, not only for them because of other things in their division, but for the NFC as a whole because it showed that the Packers are not necessarily the super dominant team we thought.
You know what? I greatly put, and I love that you brought up the fact that this team they're so overlooked, but at the same time, you can't really give them too many props. The Eagles are so hit or miss. It's crazy how hit or miss this team really is, but
incredibly hit.
They are. I mean, I couldn't even believe it myself. I mean, the great Aaron Rodgers, we all talked about it last week. Mr. Brandon was like, well, as long as you got him on the field, and you're absolutely right. But apparently he just wasn't enough last week, which is absolutely crazy. But I'm really excited for what's to come for this team. But as of right now, I don't even know what to say. I really don't. I mean, the Packers are a strong team, but how strong are they? So it's kind of one of those things where, I can believe the amount of yards they gave up. That defense didn't even look like it was the same defense. So, real fast, I just want to highlight the game that I thought was just beyond intriguing. It's the elephant in the room. How about those gosh dang Buccaneers, man?
Absolutely.
I mean, come on, Mike. Winston goes off 385 yards, 28 for 41, 4 touchdowns. He threw 1 pick, but I think that can be forgiven because we had Godwin going over the century mark, 172 yards for only 12 receptions and 2 touchdowns. I mean, I can think of the one play where Goff throws it deep and he just burns everybody. You know what play I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was kind of borderline hilarious. Like, it was pretty funny. It was like, all right, cue the circus music. I mean, seriously, it was.
And the guy he burned, by the way, Ronald Darby, was ran like a 4.340 when he came out. So, I mean, talk about wheels, man. Jesus.
Absolutely. I thought it was actually kind of funny. I mean, really, you're extremely fast, and it's like you can't even catch this dude. So I think he's had an off day, but my gosh, Gurley got 16 yards. I mean, talk about holding him in check. Goff, I mean, he threw for 517, but look at that percentage, man. It's 45 for 68. I mean, that's not a very good percentage. I mean, 2 touchdowns, but he threw 3 picks. It was not his day. Robert Woods had a decent day, 164 yards and 13 receptions, but overall, man, I mean, even Jones actually had a better day than Gurley, and he didn't even have that great of a day. 19 carries for 70 yards. That's not very much per average per carry, but who cares? He got a touchdown. They did enough. 55-40. The Buccaneers, man, they jumped to 2-2 on the season. The Rams get their first loss of the season. And going back to the Eagles and Packers, the Eagles are now 2-2 on the season, and they will hand the Packers their first loss. So, all right, so let's have some fun and go, semi-hyper speed, but some quick jabs at some of these games here. So, first game first. Oh boy, Matt. I'll tell you what. Mr. What was I going to say? Gosh darn it. I was going somewhere. I brought up Matt. I was going to say Matt White, and Gabriel, and who else are Vikings? Are Ravens fans? I kind of just want to poke fun at him right now because the Ravens fans the first ones to just trash the Browns, but this week I don't even care, man. The Browns actually look like a football team this week, Mike.
Yeah, they did. And a good one at that.
They really did. I mean, you know what? Answer me this, Mike. Is Cleveland? Do they have a reason to be excited right now?
I think they do, and I think the main reason that they're excited is that they are 2-2 and tied for the lead in their division. So there's that, and Nick Chubb. My goodness, that man. We knew. I think you and me both were in pretty solid agreement. We knew this guy was going to be good coming out of college, but good Lord, 165 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground, just torching what is traditionally a very good defense against the run in the Ravens, and he just blew them out of the water, and Odell did well. The offense was on fire. This is not a particularly defense-heavy matchup, as you can see by the score. Although the Browns did manage to get 2 picks and 4 sacks on Lamar Jackson. So, great effort by them. But give Cleveland credit going into Baltimore. And for Baltimore, this has got to be disappointing. You've got you had a chance to put away the entire division for most of the year, taking a 2-game lead, 4 games into the season, and now you're tied, and you got the Steelers, who we'll get to in a second, breathing right down your back now. Which is absolutely ludicrous. I mean, look at that. You're absolutely right. Both are 2-2 now. This division is going to be something to watch, and why not get right into those? No, we'll save them for because they're Monday night, but we're going to have fun with that. We're going to have so much fun with that game. But, alright, so next game up here, we have, can we please sound the alarm and call the search party? Because I seriously don't know. I mean, Mike, if you can please point me in the direction of the Falcons and the Falcons offense and defense, because seriously, they're nowhere to be found. The Titans ate them for breakfast. Lunch and dinner. Lunch and dinner, yeah, no, they just completely, this was not close from the get-go. I don't even know what Atlanta is this year. I really don't. And I think part of it, they're getting hit hard with injuries, I will say. They've already lost Chris Lindstrom, who is their first pick, to injury for the year, I believe. And I think Caleb McGrary, their other first-round pick, is also hurt. So they've already completely lost their draft impact. And because of that, the offensive line isn't much better, and you can see the effect. Matt Ryan sacked 5 times. The team as a whole, 58 carries for 58 yards on 17 carries, and 18 of that was Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, not exactly a scrambly quarterback. So, the passing offense is there, the weapons are there, but they're just I've yet to see anything to give me confidence in Atlanta, which is sad because I was actually pretty confident in them going into this season.
Me too. I mean, they started the season with the loss to the Vikings, which was really, really, really surprising. Then they beat the Eagles, which is like the head scratcher of this whole thing. The Eagles are not a bad team. They just beat the freaking Packers. They're a pretty good team. And the Colts, well, they lose the Colts by 3 points, which was like, okay, well, we don't know who the Colts are right now, but Falcons, you should be better than that. And then they just fall apart to the Titans. So seriously, Mike, going forward into this coming week, I'm going to have some things to say about Falcons and Texans coming up. So, okay. All right. So, anyway, quick jabs. Let's get through it and have some fun. We still got to make our picks. All right. So, first things first. Actually, we can say this to the end, but okay. Mike. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Pat, today, before the show, said if I had anything negative to say about the Raiders, he was going to reach to the phone and strangle me. Well, you're
No. I said I was going to reach through the computer and mute you. Let's get this right.
Okay. Well, I guess I might as well just get muted. Here we go. Where's my timer? Okay, so right now we are at 42 seconds, 43, 44, 45. Here we go. All right, Raiders, you still suck. You have 0 defense. Absolutely pitiful at the linebacker position. Whoop-de-doo, we made a few plays. Do you want a cookie? Okay, I guess you do. But still, we are horrible at linebacker. And now we lost Perfect. Wonderful. Great job, dude. Thanks for just, throwing yourself out of the season. Wonderful. Anyway, DBs, you still can't contain anybody. I mean, whoop-de-doo. You get a victory over a team that is just not 100% there, whatever. But, you're getting a little bit better here. Hey, a few picks. All right, cool. We made some good reads. And you still managed to give up a touchdown right at the end of the game. Yeah, I expect them to fight back, but why are you not that? Why? Why is everyone not playing with the sense of urgency? Can we not play 4 quarters of football? Because I saw 3, but I definitely didn't see all 4. D-line, you're actually getting better. I'm actually starting to like our defensive line a little bit for the first time. Offense, hello, we're finally making plays. I can't believe it. You're looking a little bit better. Carr, thank you. I knew you were in there somewhere. Josh Jacobs, you're the man. Gruden, I'm actually very okay at the moment with Gruden and Mayock and our management. So, regardless, is what it is. And that took 50 seconds. And then I'll get to the rest of this right here. The Raiders will win 31-24 on the road. Not too bad. Carr, 189 yards. Jacobs, 79 yards. Waller, actually, 53 yards. Not bad. Raiders jump to 2-2 in the season, as the Colts will fall to 2-2, and that is 1 minute straight. Done. Mike?
Couldn't quite reach through the computer to mute your mic, so I apologize to listeners. I couldn't quite follow through on my promise. I think this was actually a really good game, and it's a shame that this whole thing is going to be overshadowed by the Perfect suspension, which is still being a hot topic on Twitter to this day, 3 days after the game. But yeah, no, just a really good game, really competitive game against two teams that are trying to fight their way into the AFC race, which behind the top 2 teams, spoiler alert, New England and Kansas City, is wide open. So you're talking about 2 competitive teams trying to claw their way into the race, and it was a great game. I'm just going to say it was one of the better games I think we had this week.
It really was, and I'm proud of my Raiders. So for the first time you hear me say something positive, even though there's a bunch of negative in there, I still demand more. Keep it up, Raiders. Let's go. Titans over Falcons. We just said that one, but real quick, Titans will destroy the Falcons 24-10. I don't care. I don't care if it wasn't that much. It was still destroying because the Falcons will drop to 1-3 now. Injuries, ouch, whatever. But the Titans are looking good at 2-2. Get well soon, Falcons. You're gonna need it. Patriots and Bills. What in the world? I said the Bills were the only team that were going to give some kind of a fight to the Patriots, and I've been right pretty far because it was actually a pretty good game. I was going to start counting the touchdowns on Twitter like Patriots touchdown number 1, Patriots touchdown number 2, but they never got past 2. They did pretty good. Bills, you know what? They're not too bad. Ed Oliver is a freaking beast, but at the end of the day, I don't care if it was 6 points or 60 points. The Patriots looked actually pretty good, man. 4-0 on the season. Bills will drop to 3-1 as they get their first loss of the year. What you think, Mike?
Well, great effort both sides. Buffalo traditionally, even in their down years, has played New England pretty hard in Buffalo, so I'm not surprised that the game was a little bit closer than most people thought. Buffalo's defense somewhat inconsistent, but I've seen a lot of great things from them last year and this year to give me confidence in them moving forward. Tremaine Edmonds, this kid, he at some point he's going to take the league by storm. He's just so talented, has so much God-given talent. But the Patriots, their defense was just better on this day. They knocked Josh Allen out of the game, both figuratively by keeping his numbers down and literally knocked him out of the game and forced them to go with their backup, Matt Barkley. Aside from Frank Gore and a couple of receivers having good games, this really wasn't a banner day for the Bills offense. It was a great defensive battle, and I like a good defensive battle, so I'll give appreciation to this game.
All right, you're absolutely right. You don't see the Patriots in too many defensive battles unless it was Super Bowl 53, which was an absolutely awesome game. But yeah, this is a really good football game. You really don't see the Patriots in defensive battles with their own division because, well, they've owned them for the last 2 decades. So, yeah, really good football game here. But Patriots, hats off to you guys. Looking pretty sharp. Chiefs and Lions. Oh, my. Matt Patricia, you're the man, dude. I can't even say anymore. I can't. You are absolutely the man. And every bit of respect I can give you, sir, I'm going to give it because he showed once again how good of a defensive-minded coach he is. He took on an offensive guru in Andy Reid. The Lions had this game won. They let it up at the end. Total bummer for them. But the Chiefs, I can't say that the Lions let it up. I just said that, I know, but I'm going to take that back because the Chiefs earned it. They've been earning it. They're a great team. And they squeaked one out, guys, 34-30. And that last touchdown right at the very end, Darrell Williams on the 1-yard carry. Darrell Williams on the 1-yard carry. And Harrison Butker at the extra point with 20 seconds to go in the game. And that would seal it up. That would overshadow that Matthew Stafford to Kenny Golladay 6-yard pass with 2:26 to go. The Lions thought they had won it there after, Matt Prater's extra point, 30-27. But once again, the Chiefs get down the field. They score 34-30. Your final score in this one. Such a great game. Chiefs will advance to 4-0 on the season. Though it's been tough, you can't. They've only lost one game. They have one tie. Of course, the Cardinals will be in the season. But I'll tell you what, right now, these Lions are pretty legit right now. The Lions will drop to 2-1-1. Mike, your thoughts?
I agree. The Lions are completely legit, and even though they lost this game, they should not walk out of it ashamed. They played a great game. The Chiefs are just an amazing team. There's not much else you can really say. Pat Mahomes, even on a down game, 24 for 42, so completing just a hair over 50% of his passes, was still able to lead this team back. This was honestly my second best game of the week, I think, behind Philadelphia and Green Bay. I almost talked about this one in our opening, but yeah, great game. Both teams played their hearts out. It's a shame one team had to lose, because I'm sure if we look through the week, we can see, some teams that won that probably deserve to lose, and you wish you could pass their win over. But, it is what it is. Just great game, both sides, and both teams should come away feeling positive about this one.
I could not agree more, Mike. What a good football game. Two great warriors going out. Two great teams full of warriors going at it, and yeah, you're right. It's a bummer that one of these teams had to lose. So, great game there. Next up, all right, here we go, Mike. Here's one of those really fast ones we were talking about earlier. Chargers defeat the Dolphins 30-10 on the road. Chargers advance to 2-2 in the season. Dolphins drop to 0-4. Cricket. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, no. I mean, the Dolphins are bad. Everybody knows they're bad. The Chargers are not great, but they're good enough, and, that's my summary of this game. What was that, 15 seconds?
Yeah, it's a record, dude. I like it. I mean, hey, Eckler's doing his thing, and he's trying to make things work. Melvin Gordon, I guess he got in. I don't know, but whatever.
He's back this week.
He's back, right?
Melvin Gordon's going to be back this week, I think they said.
Okay, well, regardless, Chargers, hello. You got some injuries, and, your holdout dude there didn't help you very much. But we'll see how far. I mean, it's only the first quarter of the season, so. All right, here we go, Mike. This one I know Mike's going to want to get past really quick, but what in the world? Number one thing, I didn't know the Giants could play football like this, number one. And number two thing, I can't explain to you for the life of me what is happening in Washington right now. You have two incredibly talented pass rushers and a youngster at quarterback who just got in this week, who I know he threw 3 picks, but you know what? This guy has so much promise in him. I don't feel like okay, I don't want to say this and sound like a complete idiot, but seriously, I kind of feel like the Redskins are going to start turning it around slowly now that Haskins is in there. You guys are going to start to gel. It's a rough 4 weeks, but honestly, man, the Skins, all is not lost yet. Uh-oh.
Huh? What?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's up?
The Skins game,
Yeah. All right. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do right here. So I've developed this in my head. After we lost this game. So we're 0-4 right now. So I'm going to. My intro to talking about this team is going to be a sigh. I'm just going to sigh about this team. So I decided that if this team were to somehow go 0-16, I would sigh for my entire segment and the last week of the show to be about 30 seconds. So we're only a quarter way through that, so I'm going to let out a 7.5-second sigh. Okay? All right. Okay, here we go.
Well done, Mike.
All right, cool. Yeah, thank you. Very good. Yeah, and it's going to keep going until they win the game. That's when the streak will stop. It's just going to keep increasing. I'm going to need to work on my breath control for the future. But yeah, oh man, I don't have anything to say. I don't, man. This team is so bad. Nothing's firing. I don't know. The only thing that should be firing right now is Dan Snyder firing Jay Gruden. That's the only thing that should be firing right now. I don't know how that man still has a job. Maybe he has some dirt on, Bruce Allen and Dan Snyder. I don't know. He's got something that's going to make him keep his job. But nothing is going right now. We had a good first half of the first game against the Eagles, and ever since then, the last 3.5 games have been garbage. And I don't know what to say. We just lost to the Giants by 21 points. 21 points, Larry.
I still don't know how that happened. I don't know how the Giants even. I didn't know the Giants had an offense. Actually, I didn't. I thought they were. I saw an ad up the other day for an offense on OfferUp, but I guess the Giants might have bought it. I don't know because I.
You know what the worst part is? They did it without Saquon Barkley. No Saquon Barkley, and Wayne Gallman goes off for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns combined rushing receiving. Ugh.
The heartbreaking heartbreak.
Well, the good news is the Nationals are in the playoffs, so I mean, hey, we got that.
Something to be excited about. Amazing. Moving on. Awesome game though last night in baseball. But anyway, so next up, as we mentioned already, Browns and Ravens, we got through that one. Panthers and Texans. I mean, seriously, this was such a good football game. John should be very proud of his team. The Texans, you know what? They toughed it. They did as best as they could. A 6-point game here. McCaffrey, almost to the century mark, 93 yards, 27 carries, 1 touchdown. How about Allen at quarterback right now? Not bad. The man missed 10 out of his 34 passes. That is incredible, okay? 232 yards on the day. No touchdowns, but still. He looked great. McCaffrey was the player of the game. 10 receptions, 86 yards, also leading receiving. Not too bad. Deshaun Watson didn't have the best day, but it wasn't all that bad. 21 for 33 with 160 yards. But regardless, this was just a great football game. These two heavyweights were slugging it out, and I think this was like a fight where I went to decision because seriously, the Panthers just proved that, you know what? Yeah, we may not have Cam, but we're going to fight you no matter what. Great game.
Oh, yeah, great defensive battle. Allen did have 3 fumbles, but give the Panthers defense credit. This Houston Texans offense is really good. Deshaun Watson's a really good quarterback, and they held him in check. They sacked him 6 times. My goodness. And it even looked like in the third quarter there, it looked like Houston was going to start coming back and really take over this game. But Carolina's defense just shut him down. My only thing is Christian McCaffrey had a great game, but he also touched the ball, combined receiving and running, 37 times. And I'm pretty sure he touched the ball a ton last week as well in Allen's first game. And while he's a great player and you definitely want to get him involved, 30-plus times a game is going to wear him down by the end of the season. season, Carolina needs to figure out another outlet for their offense.
Yeah, they do. You don't want to hurt that guy. You don't want to wear him down.
No, because if he gets hurt and Cam is out,
wow, there goes that season.
Yeah, seriously.
So that's pretty much that. So Cardinals. Oh, here we go. The NFC version of the Chargers and Dolphins. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So, in other news today, or in other news on Sunday, Seahawks defeat the Cardinals 27-10. The Seahawks now jump to 3-1 on the season, as the Cardinals will fall to 0-3-1 because they have one tie with the Detroit Lions. I don't know where that first game came from, but they have certainly not been the same team ever since. And the Seattle Seahawks are, well, just doing what they usually do. It was kind of like a very easy practice for them. Mike, how about your thoughts?
I mean, great game, Seattle. Well done. You beat the team you were supposed to win. Good job. You beat them handily. Moving on. Arizona. It's okay. To Miss Angela, our diehard Cardinals fan.
Sorry, Angela.
I'm glad this team is going to probably finish with a relatively high draft pick because this division is hard, really hard, and I don't see them winning very many, if any, games because they desperately need to build up this offensive line to protect Kyler Murray because they are giving him nothing. And the running game, they're giving them nothing. Okay, that's it. That's all I got.
No, you're absolutely right, Mike. He's getting absolutely nothing. Kind of like the Arizona Cardinal fans. Anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry. Okay, that's enough. Okay. Had to hit the laugh button. So, okay, next up, the Chicago Bears. Oh my gosh, this team. I mean, is there any way to explain how incredibly talented they are? I mean, they go on to do so many great things. My Raiders are, I hope we don't get destroyed this week in England because seriously, this Bears team is just really good. I mean, you know what? You can't ask for a better performance out of the entire defense. These guys just play lights out football. Chase Daniel actually got in the game after Trubisky went down. He came in, actually did a pretty good job, man. 195 yards, 22 for 30, 1 touchdown. Montgomery on the ground, 53 yards for 21 carries. Definitely not a great day on the ground for him, but, you know, it still was enough to get the victory. And 7 receptions, 72 and 77 yards for Robinson. You know what? Not a bad day at the office. It wasn't the prettiest win, but it was definitely a win. And you know what? A win is a win. 16-6. The Bears will jump to 3-1 on the season. Vikings will drop to 2-2. And if my sources are correct, Vince Wright tagged me in something earlier or a couple days ago that just drove me like up the wall. If I read this correctly, I'm gonna go take a look at it real quick. But trading a certain receiver maybe in their future, which is actually kind of stupid. So yeah, your thoughts? What's going on, Mike?
Well, we won't talk about that receiver situation. This is a no drama show, Larry. At least this part is. We'll leave the drama for the primetime showdowns. Very solid game by the Bears. Chase Daniel came in and did exactly what he needed to do, which was control, manage the game, didn't turn the ball over, not once, just managed the game, kept it under control, scored some points, and that was it. That's all he needed to do. It's kind of sad when your backup comes in and does better than your starter's been doing the last few weeks, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, give Chase Daniel credit. He's been in the league a long time. He's a veteran. And this Bears defense, my God. Now, I watched bits of this game. The 3 most impressive players on the Bears defense were actually guys you've probably never heard of because they were subbing in for injured players. The Bears had Roquan Smith, Akeem Hicks, and Bilal Powell, 3 starters out for this game, and Nick Kwiatkowski, Nick Williams, and Roy Robertson Harris, the 3 guys who were their backups, combined for 20 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 5 tackles for losses, and 5 quarterback hits. So, you know a defense is good when the 3 backups come in and are the 3 best players in the game. Just saying.
Which is really kind of weird. But it worked. I mean, it's what it is, but definitely worked. And yeah, once again, you're absolutely not about controversy. But Vince tagged me something the other day talking about Stephon Diggs and, you know, he's like, absolutely not. No trade. None of that. I mean, I don't know if it's even realistic or is this a rumor that I got tagged in, but yeah, I don't think trading Diggs would be the smartest thing. They don't have much more.
He did sit out of practice today, non-injury related. So, a little bit of drama building in Minnesota.
Interesting. So, next up here, Mike, has your team ever lost by a field goal in the last second?
Probably. We've been around. My team's been around for like 80 years, so yeah, probably.
Well, if they have, maybe this has happened before. I don't know, but you know what? At least it wasn't twice in like 1 month.
Oh.
These poor Broncos, man, they can't catch a break. These guys, man, played a really good game. And at the very end, man, Josh Lambo gets in there for a 33-yarder, nails that sucker as time expires, and the Jaguars win 26-24 on the road in Mile High with the thin air. Hey, not like it was all that far, 30 yards, whatever, but he still got it. Awesome job, the Jaguars, man. Duval 2-2 on the season as the Broncos will fall to 0-4. Mike, come on, man.
Well, major props to Gardner Minshew for continuing to get the job done in relief for Nick Foles. You know, he's a rookie. Let's not forget this. This guy's a rookie. He was a 5th-round pick, and honestly, he's been the best rookie quarterback so far in a, draft that saw 3 guys go in the top 45 picks. And also Leonard Fournette going off 225. My God, that is the guy who they drafted top 5 overall a few years back. That is the guy they needed. And for the Broncos, it's a double loss for them because not only do they lose another game by a field goal to drop to 0-4, Jaguars go to 2-2. There you go. I cut you off there, Larry. But they also lost Bradley Chubb with a season-ending injury in this game, which was terribly unfortunate because this guy was really starting to develop into that pass rusher they needed opposite of Von Miller. So it's unfortunately a double loss for the Broncos, which is sad, but I mean it's part of the game. It is what it is. I just hope he gets back well.
Me too, because that's a bummer. So yeah, total sucky situation for these guys, but it is what it is. But man, Jaguars, talk about getting a victory there. Nicely done by the Jags. And then on to Sunday night, the Saints and Cowboys had quite the defensive battle, my particular favorite type of game. These guys went at it. It wasn't like the fight wasn't there, guys. Prescott, 223 yards, 22 for 33. He threw 1 pick, no touchdowns, but still, it's a lot. Bridgewater, 23 for 30, 193 yards. He also threw 1 pick, no touchdowns. But look at the ground game, 18 carries for 35, okay? 1 touchdown for Elliott, and for Kamara, look at this, man. 17 carries for 69 yards. I mean, a little bit better for him, but still, I mean, incredible. Jason Witten, only 4 receptions for 50 yards, and Thomas, 9 receptions for 95 yards. Not eye-popping numbers, but my gosh, what a great day. It was enough to get it done. And these guys went at it. Saints get this thing done on the road, 12-10, man. Saints will jump to 3-1 on the season, as the Cowboys will now drop to 3-1.
Yeah, no, this was a great game, a great defensive battle, which I don't think anybody really anticipated this particular one being a defensive battle. But yeah, no, the Saints defense, they came to play. And we also need to remember, for Dallas' sake, I know there are people who have already been crying, Dak doesn't deserve a new contract, he's overrated off of this one game, which, by the way, one game does not a season make. Just saying. But playing in New Orleans is one of the hardest venues in the league, right up there with New England and Seattle. So, this was the Saints had the favor all the way. Good job by the Saints for managing the game and grinding out those hard yards and, getting down the field with Teddy Bridgewater, who's not quite, he's definitely not the quarterback Drew Brees was. So, let's get that out on the game. But he did enough, and the Saints did enough. And the Cowboys defense played great as well. They were all over the field. Jalen Smith had a good game. Robert Quinn had 2 sacks, so, great game by him. But great defensive battle. Another game where you hate to see, one side lose, but, one team had to do it. And for those of you who had Will Lutz in fantasy, congratulations. You probably won this week because your kicker got you like 15 points.
Hey, great job by the kicker this week. And then moving on to the final game of the week, and here's sadly another one that was just going to go really fast. Steelers get out there, and I thought this game could go either way. I thought it was going to be close. Both teams are just kind of, it's like the toilet bowl right now between these two. Well, I thought it was. And, well, Pittsburgh came out. They ran some crazy crap. They even ran the dang Wildcat. I mean, they were all over the place. At least I think they did. But they were all over the place. They scored like crazy, and the Bengals just look really bad. 27-3. Pittsburgh wins their first game of the season as they jump to 1-3 on the season. And the Bengals will drop to 0-4. Just an absolute, the game was the entire game was just a loaf. I mean, the Bengals struck first. They were the first one on the board, and they never saw the scoreboard again after that. Just absolutely fell apart. Rudolph, not too bad, 24 for 28. 229 yards, 2 touchdowns. Connor, 10 carries for 42 yards. I mean, not the best day, but it got enough done. And then Connor was also the leading receiver, 8 receptions for 83 yards, 1 touchdown. Hey, not a bad day for Connor, but I'll tell you what, Rudolph, hey, stepped up. As for the Bengals, yeah, Mike.
Well, yeah, like you said, this is going to be a quick and dirty one. Major props to the Steelers for their creative use of James Conner and Jalen Samuels. I remember when Jalen Samuels came out in the draft, I said when the Steelers picked him in the 5th round that he was one of the most versatile offensive weapons in this class. In that class, I think it was 2018 when he came out, and he showed it. 31 passing yards, 26 rushing yards, and 57 receiving yards. How often do you see that, Larry? I mean, that's just a crazy stat line. And they just got really creative with how they used arguably their 2 best playmakers in Connor and Samuels. I know, Juju Smith-Schuster didn't have a great game, but with Mason Rudolph at quarterback, there's no guarantee that he's going to be able to get the ball to the receiver, so you got to get a little bit creative. And Cincinnati, I'll say this about Cincinnati. They've had some bad luck on the offensive line. Clinton Bowling retired before the preseason, and Jonah Williams, their first-round pick, went down for injury, so they're already playing from behind, but good God. Was this offensive line bad? Oh man, move on. I can't even talk about it, man. It was bad.
It was absolutely bad. It was terrible. They are trash. I don't even understand how.
I forget who. It might have been somebody from ESPN. I don't remember the name. They came on and they said, aside from left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, and right tackle, the Bengals' offensive line's looking pretty good.
That's actually pretty funny. I remember. Oh man, Alex, man, my boy, he used to co-host the Bases Loaded on our network here, and it was hilarious because he tagged me in this thing the other day, and it was funny. It was this one dude, you might have saw it already, Mike, but it was a Dolphins fan, and he was standing there with a football, and he was like, things the Dolphins need. It's like, running back, fullback, quarterback, linebacker, defensive line, offensive line, corner, safety, head coach, front office, and a plethora and variety of other things.
A lot of new things, not other things. And I will say, one of the most interesting races that I've seen developing in the first quarter of the season, and, Dolphins fans and Bengals fans, if you're listening, I do apologize for the following statement, but one of the most interesting races I see developing is the Bengals and the Dolphins for the number 1 overall pick in Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, somebody come on and tell me I'm wrong, please.
Yeah, there's no way you are, because that's pitiful. These teams are absolutely doing nothing to improve. It's like I don't even understand how these two teams are still even slightly competitive, which they're not. So, yeah.
And I mean, when you look at the other winless teams, the Jets have Sam Darnold, the Redskins have Dwayne Haskins, and the Broncos just took Drew Lock, so they're not looking for a quarterback. Oh, and the Cardinals just took Kyler Murray, so they're not looking for a quarterback. Just saying. Just saying.
This is it's sad, but I'll tell you what, it's really interesting to see what these teams are even going to attempt to do for the remainder of the season. I mean, this is one of those years where they're just going to be like, well, this just got to hold on, I guess. Let's just hurry up and hope the season ends really fast, because...
You know what? There's an old adage, take one step back to move two steps forward, and I hope for both these franchises' sakes, that's what they're doing.
You know, that's a great way of putting it, Mike, because these guys are just, this is rough. This is a rough go for all these winless teams right now, and it's kind of crappy. So, anyway, with that said, y'all, we're going to take ourselves a quick break. When we get back, it is time for our first prime time face-off of the evening. We're going to have some fun, y'all. We have Mr. Brian McLaughlin from the Common Grounds podcast, and of course, from Rams Talk. We have Mr. Steven Rivera. Looking forward to talking to these guys, man. We're going to have some fun in a few minutes. So, hey, if you are just tuning in, we're getting our picks course at the end of the game. For Mr. Mike Pat and me, your boy Larry B. This has been a fun recap of week number 1. I'm sorry, week number 1. My gosh, I wish it was week number 1. We could start over. It's been a fun recap of week number 4. And we're going to let you get onto those primetime face-offs to talk about in week number 5. You're listening to 3 and Out right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Wrestling fans in the podcast world, you are in the right place to listen to the right show, the premier show in the professional wrestling podcasting world. This is Ring Rambling Radio, and you are listening to one of the co-hosts. I am Martin Sandoval, a.k.a. the SoCal Saint, along with my 2 co-hosts, the lovely Felicia and my boy Matt. Yes, every Saturday or every other Saturday morning, you can listen to us, the premier wrestling team, giving you the premier wrestling news, rumors, updates, event discussions, everything that has to do with professional wrestling. You're in the right place. IE Sports Radio presents Ring Rambling Radio. Don't miss it, because it's just too sweet.
Two Wheels Wednesday is the place to come for all your motorcycle sports news every Wednesday on IE Sports Radio with myself, Matt White. All the latest news, rumours, race reviews and previews from World and British Superbikes and the big one, MotoGP. Two Wheels Wednesday, every Wednesday on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sport.
Hi, I'm Brian McLaughlin. In the National Football League, there are approximately 17 million total fans.
I'm Andrew Guzman. My Dallas Cowboys make up almost 9 million of those fans.
And my Seahawks have a very loyal fan base of around 4 million.
That's more than 3/4 of all the fans.
That's absolutely correct, Andrew. And on the Common Ground Football Podcast, we'll be talking about the good, bad, and the ugly of these teams.
We'll have weekly picks, discuss transactions, injuries.
And we'll chat about the rest of the league, too.
Blake freaking Bortles?
Oh, yes. And Captain Andrew Luck.
Excellent. What about Fitzmagic?
Oh, let's not get carried away now.
Oh, all right then.
Join us each week at commongroundfootballpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcast.
It's going to be
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Phil Robinson, running point, setting up Phil Jones for the finish. Join us every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, as we break down the week in basketball on the home for Real Talk Sports Radio, IESportsRadio.com.
Drivers, start your engines. Auto racing takes many forms, from the close quarter contact of NASCAR
to the high-speed, high-risk atmosphere of IndyCar,
all the way to the pinnacle of technology with the Formula One World Championship.
No matter if you prefer the high banks of Daytona,
The concrete canyons of Long Beach,
or the flowing curves of the Nürburgring.
the international language of motorsports is simple. Go fast.
run hard,
And come home first.
So join us, myself, Darrell Kinsey Jr.,
Lolita Camello,
And Michael Ward.
on a world tour of all the best motorsports has to offer on the Extra Mile, Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, only on your home for all. That is sports, i.e. Sports Radio.
Welcome back, football fans. Well, here we go. Prime time face-off number 1 of the week. I love doing these. These are so much fun because you get a mixture. You get these crazy hardcore, like, I hate you type of things, and there's love at the end. And then you get these, like, extremely respectful ones that are just, like, gentleman's game. Like, it's awesome. So, tonight, I'm wondering what we're going to get. We got 2 brand new, well, they're not necessarily new timers. One of them, the legendary Derek Kayapala, actually, is one of his guys. I didn't even know that until right now. It's kind of cool. Derek was on the show last week. And, of course, Brian here his first time was on the show earlier this year in July when we did 8 divisions in 8 days. He talked about his Hawks, and right now I am wondering how both of these guys talk about their teams, because there's room for concern, and then there's room for also, like, no, we're good for both these teams. Let's just say like this. Let's just put it like this. Neither of these gentlemen here know what it's like to be a Raider or a Redskin. Just saying.
Come on. Did you watch the Rams from 04 to, like, 17?
I'm sorry. I was born in 1989. The Raiders haven't won a Super Bowl since 84. I'm sorry. Anyway, so...
Larry, in all fairness, there's a reason the Rams had, like, what was it, 3 top 5 picks in a row in the early 2010s or something like that? At some point they had, like, 3 top 5 picks in a row. We won 6 games over the course of 3 years before we drafted Sam Bradford, who also didn't even work out. So it was, we had some struggles before this weird success we're having now.
I love it. Weird success. If you want to talk about weird success, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Seahawks. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get this thing going, y'all. So the tweet is out. Please join in. Show us some love. Get in the chat room. Talk some crap. Have some fun. Here we go, y'all. Let's get it going. Let's bully y'all. First things first. Here it is, primetime face-off number 1, Seahawks versus the Rams. Actually, I think it's Rams versus Seahawks because the away team. So, with that said, let's go ahead and start things off, y'all. It is Rams at Seahawks. They'll be playing in a very loud place that they've played at plenty of times before. But will the loudness, will the decibels get to this team, or will the Rams just be tough as they usually are? Here we go. Starting us off here, we have the away team, ladies and gentlemen. He is, without a doubt, now that I know he's one of Derek's guys, he's a heavy hitter. Not I'm trying to say nobody else isn't, but yeah, he talks his stuff, and I know he's got plenty under his belt talking sports, especially, like I said, being one of Derek's guys. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome for the first time here on the show, and hopefully not his last by far. He is our writer for the Rams Wire and Roto Baller, as well as host of the Butting Heads podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming Mr. Steve Ribeiro. What's going on, Steve?
How we doing, gang? Great to be here. Won't be the last time, I promise, but very excited.
Hey, man, well, I'm glad to have you aboard here tonight. Like I said, it's going to be a fun one. And, well, I know Brian has been waiting for one of these since the moment I told him about these things in the summer.
And, well, tonight's Brian's turn. I'm really, really, really excited to see what kind of a face-off this is going to be. I really don't know what it's going to be. It might just get all ugly. It might be super cool. I don't know, but it's going to be awesome. So here we go, y'all. He is, of course, representing the home team, diehard fan of the 12th man. Ladies and gentlemen, he is one half of the Common Grounds podcast that I am really excited to hear. You just heard his commercial play right now, guys. You heard their drop play for the Common Grounds podcast. So happy to play that. Happy to have that here on the show. And he is from the state that has, I only thought, like 4 cities in it, but apparently there's more. Because Pullman's on the other side of the state, and that's all I really know. Seattle, Tacoma, Pullman, and
there's plenty of other cities. We're a big state.
Spokane, I think. And I don't know what else is up there. But anyway, it's by Vancouver. Yeah, he's kidding. Cascadia, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Cascadia. I'm just kidding. But with that said, glad to have him here, a part of the show for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, he is one half of the Common Grounds podcast. Check it out. You're going to love it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the one, the only, Mr. Mike. I'm sorry, I almost said Mike. I almost said Mike. I know. I almost did. But because I'm used to saying Mike here. Mike's my dude, man. But, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brian McLaughlin. What's going on, Brian?
What's happening? Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Hey, brother. Glad to have you, man, and glad to have you part of tonight's show. Gentlemen, you guys, as Mike just said a little bit ago, you guys are absolutely just predestined to not really care for one another's teams. So I'm really excited for this one. It's going to be some fun stuff. Let's get it. Mike, you know the deal, man. Ask each of these gentlemen here a question starting with the away team. So, Mike, what is your question for Mr. Steve? And then go ahead and transition on into Mr. Brian.
Alrighty, Mr. Steve, let's kick things off here. So the Rams here, not a great game last week against Tampa. Offense looked great. You know, Jared Goff, I mean, I wish he didn't have to throw 68 times, but, you know that's how the game works out sometimes. But the defense, a lot of question marks coming away from that game. You know, in the offseason, you guys signed some pretty solid veterans, Eric Weddle, Clay Matthews, but the results weren't there. They really weren't last week. So is this defense, is that performance last week against Tampa, at home, by the way, is that something that you are really worried about moving forward for the rest of the season?
Well, yeah, first of all, the offense did not have a great performance either. You don't throw the ball 68 times, and you don't cough up the ball 4 turnovers. I mean, there were 2 turnovers that directly resulted in points. One was a touchdown. One was I think it was an interception. They returned it to like the 8 and then scored in the next play. So basically the defense only gave up 41 points last week, which is still awful. So that doesn't save anything. But oddly enough, look, every team has a shitty game, and I'm not overly concerned just because there is a lot of talent there. Now, I can't sit here and say I'm not concerned at all because we just gave up 55 points to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Jameis Winston. And the defense made no adjustments. They came out flat. You could tell within the first quarter that the offense was going to steamroll us because the Rams were just not – they didn't have their heads in the game, as silly of a statement as that is. But, long term, there's just – you have Aaron Donald in there, and the guy lives up to the hype and more when you watch him play. There's just too many good players that if this unit can stay healthy for the most part, I'm not going to sit here and say they could be a top 5, top 10 defense, but no, they should not be giving up 41 points every week. They didn't adjust to how they covered Chris Godwin, and they couldn't do anything. And I mean, it happens, but you look at Cleveland last week, they scored 40 points, and the week before we manhandled them. So it was a bad game. I hope I can say that this is a game that'll light a fire under their ass, and the defense will pick it up, and that'll be a blip on the season, and they'll overall be a decent defense. But I can't imagine they give up 40 points every week.
Yeah, it sounds good. And for the listeners, just for the record, I'm not saying the Rams have a bad defense or a bad team. I was just wondering if there was concern. I mean, this is still a very good team. Let's not mince words here. This is still a very potent team that everybody should be worried about when they play. All right, now moving on to Brian, who is a fan of another really potent team in the Seahawks. Only one loss on their record to a pretty good Saints team. But so far,
by the way, who the Rams beat. With the same quarterback.
Who the Seahawks absolutely should have beat.
Yes, gentlemen, both corners of the rings separate. Okay. But I feel like I've noticed a theme that Russell Wilson is having to do a good chunk of the work, not all of the work, but the other production for the team has been a little bit inconsistent. I feel that might just be me as a fan, as a just neutral NFL fan looking on the outside. But I feel like, last week we got some contribution from Will Dissly and Chris Carson. Earlier in the year, they've gotten contributions from DK Metcalf, their very promising rookie. Tyler Lockett's been consistent, but he's been the only one that I've seen on paper. So who do you think, Brian, who do you think needs to be the guy to step up and be the consistent contributor so that it's not just Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett and then some random guy every week?
Well, and that's what it's been. It's been super, super inconsistent. DK Metcalf started off the season red hot. We got to see this, big, humongous receiver that we got in the draft. And then all of a sudden, in the last couple of weeks, he's been quiet. And every throw to him is either off or he can't make the play. And then running game. This offense is 100% run first. And as much as that drives us Seattle fans nuts sometimes, when you see what Russell Wilson is already doing stats-wise this season, a lot of us would actually like to see that set him free a little bit more. Chris Carson, who's supposed to be our star running back, he's had more fumbles this season already than he's had all of last season. And then just in this last game, hit his season high of over 100 yards. So inconsistency is definitely the big thing. And honestly, I go to the running game when I talk about an area that needs to just step up and carry the team. If Pete Carroll and Brian Schottenheimer don't want to deviate from the game plan of run first, then they obviously need to have a running game that is consistent as much as humanly possible. That starts with your offensive line being able to run block for him, and then him holding on to the ball and just having a game like he just had in Arizona. We just need to see more of that.
Very good. And a little side note, I'm just throwing this out here for the viewers on DK Metcalf. For those of you who remember our mock drafts that Larry and John was involved with that too, Larry, wasn't he? Yes. Way back in April, I had DK Metcalf going 9th overall to the Bills, and he went 62nd. So if we need any reaffirmation of my skill in doing mock drafts, there you go. So Larry, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Thank you. My mock drafts have been pretty funny. One time, I think 2 years ago, I had just a fun one. Remember, Mike, where I just started picking the weirdest picks ever. You were changing the draft order and crap.
You had Ben Boulware in the first round. I remember that one, and I had to sit back for a second and register that for a minute.
How Ben Boulware isn't a freaking starter in the NFL somewhere right now is beyond me. That dude was freaking amazing. Go to the Raiders, please help us, because that guy was amazing. So I don't know. Anyway, with that said, here we go, y'all. Let's go and jump on into the primetime face-off there. So great stuff there, starting things off there with Mr. Mike Pat. Thank you very much. Good. So okay, here we go, y'all. Time to start timing things and let's have some fun. So first things first, starting with the away team. All right, Steve, starting off with you, man. Let us know. I want X factors for this game. Let's go ahead and talk some X factors. And talk about who you think will be X factors or an X factor for this game. Versus your heated rivals on the road in Seattle. You have 1 minute on the clock. Who will they be? Begin.
I wish I could say something else, because it's got to be our offensive line. Right now, they are grading as the worst unit in the NFL. Worse than Cincinnati, who people watched on Monday night, and they look like they were a Division II college offensive line. We're worse. We're somehow worse. They need to protect Goff. If he's getting rushed, he's going to make some bad throws. He's going to fumble the ball because he's not seeing guys coming. Going up against Seattle, they got Jadeveon Clowney over there. It's a pretty good pass rush. We've played some pretty good ones over the past couple weeks. We have gotten obliterated by these pass rushes. All of them are line one of the best in the league over last year's under Sean McVay. We let 2 veterans go. We replaced them with 2 unproven guys. Not only do those guys suck, but the guys that were here last year also suck. So these guys need to get their act together, especially the veterans who have been here, who have played well before. They need to get their shit together and start blocking for Jared Goff and Todd Gurley, because if they don't start doing that, these guys are never going to get going. And we might see some more games like Tampa Bay where we struggle and we lose.
You know what? There you go. So real quick, it's a comment or two. Brian, your thoughts on his X factors, man? What do you think?
God, how embarrassing it is to have an offensive line worse than the Seahawks. That's terrible.
Oh my gosh! Well, here we go. Let's get into the X factors. And for you, Brian, same exact question, man. X factors. You have 1 minute on the clock.
I can't even rebuttal that. You're not wrong.
That is hilarious.
Hey, it's nice to hear that we're not the worst, so I'll take that. That's fantastic. X factors for the Seahawks, it goes right along with what you just said, though. It's going to be our defensive line, because if you do look at the numbers and look how bad the Rams' offensive line has been struggling, we have got to have a pass rush. We have got to get in there and disrupt Jared Goff and make something happen. Whether it be a mistake. Goff has had some issues holding onto the ball or throwing an intercept, whatever. He's just had some turnover issues. We need to exploit that. We got Clowney now. We got Ziggy Ansah's playing. So those two complement each other really, really well. And we finally saw that in Arizona. So I want to see them disrupt the crap out of the offensive line for the Rams and get to Goff as much as humanly possible. That's definitely my X factor for sure.
Oh, I like it. Okay, so quick and dirty. What you think? What you think, Steve? What do you think about his X factor?
No, he's not wrong. And we've gone up against Myles Garrett. He's killed us. Shaq Barrett killed us. Cam Jordan didn't kill us as bad as those guys, but still kind of killed us. I'm sure everyone saw the Saints got screwed on the penalties again against us, where they returned the fumble touchdown, but it didn't count. Basically, the Rams should have given up 2 fumble return touchdowns in 3 games, which is unacceptable. And I mean, yeah, it's a good pass rush, and I think really it's a cliche thing to say, but on both sides of the ball, I think the O-line versus the D-line is what it's going to come down to, because I'm sure, as you know, Aaron Donald always has fun going against Russell Wilson. I do not think he likes playing against Aaron Donald at all.
My offensive line is terrible, so it's not going to be fun.
Alrighty, gentlemen, I'm loving it. You guys sound like me with my Raiders. My gosh. Oh, my gosh. So, it's okay. Critical fans. It's understood. So, here we go, guys. Next up, let's jump in to your weaknesses. And this is always fun. So, Steve, you start us off, once again, since you are the away team. For the Rams, who do you feel, or pick out a weakness on the Seahawks that you see, which I kind of already see the direction of the weaknesses. But, go ahead, pick out the weaknesses and let us know what a weakness that you guys can exploit, basically. What can you guys take advantage of to help you guys win this game? You have 1 minute on the clock. Begin.
Well, it might sound a little silly, but I don't have a lot of faith in the Seahawks receiving core right now. I do like Tyler Lockett, but I think we've done a fairly decent job of guarding one receivers this year. It's the twos that killed us, like Chris Godwin last week. Obviously, Mike Evans had a big play last week, but that big plays will happen occasionally. I think we take Locke out of the game, we take the running game out of the game, which as far as it's been for Seattle, shouldn't be that hard, but you never know. Carson's talented. You force Russell Wilson and the other receivers to beat us, take the ones out of the game. I think that's the recipe for success. Just make sure they can't run the ball, because when teams have been able to get both going against us, it's been trouble. But that's where I'd like to see them force those receivers to kind of beat our secondary.
Okay, great job there. Even under a minute, great job. Okay, well, Brian Higgins said your receivers suck. So, Brian, you have 30 seconds on the clock, man. Tell us why you think that's actually no, he's pretty right. Or, no, dude, no, screw this. Defend your team. Let us know, Brian. You got 30 seconds.
Okay, yeah, screw that crap. My receivers are they may be, besides Tyler Lockett, they may not be big names, but have you watched Russell Wilson and what he's been able to do with his, with all these guys? Will Disley, who is a tight end, he's not a receiver, but he's been Russell's go-to guy, and their connection is something really, really special. And DK Metcalf, as big as he is, we're going to start seeing him back to what we were seeing the first couple games. So let's calm it down on my receivers sucking. They're going to destroy you.
Oh, look at, okay, the face-off is beginning. All right, well, Brian, now it's your time, man. Go ahead, take a shot at the Rams and say, what you think you guys can exploit, what we can take advantage of to help you guys win this game tomorrow at home. You have 1 minute, begin.
We have to actually use our receivers. We have to have more of a passing game, and Bucks put up, 55 points? And they spread it out and made some stuff happen. Will that happen? I'm not sure, because we do have, an offensive coordinator that doesn't like to, let Russell run free and throw the ball. But I think if they're smart, that's what they'll exploit like crazy. They'll come out and play a little surprise and go a little pass happy with Russell to start. Doesn't mean they'll finish it that way, but if they come out and get a lead using Russell Wilson and those no-name receivers, you'll actually see some good points being put on the board, and then we can slow down the game and go back to running the ball and actually, with control of the game, make some stuff happen that way. So I think the receivers using the passing game is going to be something we can do really well against the Rams.
Oh, you heard that? Who heard that? Oh, crap. Okay, so straight up, y'all, Steve, he basically just said that remember that play where Roby just got burnt to a crisp when Godwin just outran him? Like, it was actually pretty. Or was that Evans? Or was that one of their other receivers that nobody really knows?
They both did it.
He just
did it plenty of times.
Well, there you go. So he just basically said your secondary is about as trash as a landfill. So yeah, man, go ahead, man. What do you think? Are you agreeing, or are you going to defend your teams? You have 30 seconds on the clock. Defend your team, man.
Look, since Wade Phillips took over for the Rams in 2017, we've played 4 times, and Russell Wilson has never thrown for over 200 yards against the Rams in that stretch. So I'm not too worried. I'm not saying he's not good. He's one of the top best quarterbacks in the league, but we've been able to contain him in the past. As long as our secondary looks like they did in the first 3 weeks, where the only player who really torched us was Christian McCaffrey, who's a guy that the Seahawks don't have an equivalent to. And as long as we don't look like we did last week, then I think we'll be okay, because historically this defense has shut down Wilson, and the secondary has been good this year outside of whatever the fuck happened last week. I have no idea what that was. I hope I never see it again. But as long as we don't look like that, I have full faith.
That went a little bit over. It's okay though. You know what, man? It's all good. You guys, I love this. Well, we have 2 very realistic fans. I love this because, don't get me wrong, I love all fans on here, but sometimes we get the delusional, like me with my Raiders, for 13 years straight. I was like, no, we're still good. We're still the Raiders. I love my team. We're still great. 4-12 every, 4 years in a row. That kind of crap. So, yeah, and then you get the fans who are like, yeah, I'll tell you. Well, you want to hear about my team? I'll tell you about my team. So, anyway, all right, y'all, let's go ahead and get on into the final part here. And it's the game plan. So, you have 1 minute on the clock. Let us know what your team has to do. Make a tailor-made game plan to beat the other team. You have 1 minute on the clock. Steve, start us out, man. Let us know, what do your Rams have to do to go on the road and beat the Seahawks on the road, of course, in a very, very tough place to play? You have 1 minute on the clock. Begin.
Pardon my French here, but run the fucking football for the love of God, Sean McVay. Todd Gurley carried the ball 5 times last week. Malcolm Brown added 5, but 10 carries for the running backs is unacceptable. I'm not saying you got to go out there and give Todd Gurley 25 carries. If you want to mix Browning, that's fine, but let both of these guys run. Let them work. Let Todd Gurley get going. He hasn't looked as good as he has. I'll be the first to admit it, but he has had flashes, and last week in the passing game, he looked good. He looked good on his 5 carries that they gave him. Had a nice touchdown run. Run the ball, get the running game going, so then you could, make the defense think that you might actually run the ball when you're passing 68 times, and Jared Goff's not going to hopefully be throwing interceptions. And I think the Seahawks are good. I do think we're the more talented team, and I think if we can control the game on the ground, we should be able to win even in a tough environment.
So I'm going to go ahead and translate that right there. Brian, your Seahawks suck. Okay, anyway, that was my translation for what Steve was trying to say. All right.
Yeah, that's how I heard it.
So here we go. So, Brian, I want to hear a little bit of rebuttal, man. Why would that game plan actually work, or not going to happen? 30 seconds. What you got?
Well, Gurley hasn't even been as good this season at all versus what he was last year. And the Seahawks have actually been really good against defending the run. If the Rams want to do anything, they should be passing the ball more. I'd be more scared of my secondary. But no, go ahead. If you want to run the ball, that's totally fine. It's not going to work. And even though CenturyLink is not the harder place to play as it has been in the past, a couple of run stops and that place will come alive.
Oh, okay. I like it. Okay, so next up, Brian, your turn now. What is your game plan? You have 1 minute on the clock. What's your game plan to defeat these Rams at home? And if I'm not mistaken, if you guys win... Oh, no, you guys aren't going to take the lead. The Niners are in the lead. How the hell did that happen? Anyway.
They'll lose this week.
Yeah, Niners are going down this week. Jess,
I hope you're listening, because she is in our... Actually, she's in our last primetime face-off tonight, taking on Sam and the Browns. So, yeah, Jess is probably listening right now. So that was for you, Jess. You have two of your really, 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 not fond, fans of your Niners. So can't wait to hear what she's gonna say at the end of the third primetime. What was that?
That's one thing we can agree on.
Yeah, look at that. See, we come together to say the Niners are going down.
This is awesome. So, with that said, y'all, if you are not voted, go ahead and jump on our voting poll really quick, guys. Remember, everybody listening to the show right now, go ahead and jump in the voting, jump over to IE Sports Radio, scroll down, find this voting poll. We have a few more minutes left if it's not up already. Cast your votes. Let us know who you think is going to win this game coming up on Thursday, or tomorrow night, as a matter of fact, while we get to the final stretch here. So, with that said, Brian, well, actually, you can say your game plan. Actually, right? You can say your game plan, right?
I haven't said it yet. No.
Okay, sorry. Okay, you have not said your game plan. I got a little lost in the sauce.
It's okay.
All right, Brian. Here we go, man. This is all for you, brother. You got 1 minute on the clock. What is your game plan to defeat these Rams?
Well, my game plan isn't at all what they'll actually do, but it's the complete opposite of Steve's, which is actually pass the fucking ball. And I want to see more of that because I do believe that Russell Wilson is having an MVP-type season already, 4 games in. I'm not the biggest Russell Wilson fan, even though I'm a giant Seahawks fan. However, I can't deny how good he has looked when they have let him do his thing. So they need to absolutely set Russell free, let him throw the ball, complement it with some Carson here and there, but I have a feeling that the Rams are gonna be really good against that run game, and they're just not gonna have any choice but to use Russell and make sure that he takes control of the game. So if I had any plan ever, it would be Schottenheimer, listen to me, pass the damn ball. Done.
Done. Mic drop. It's going to be, or however you want to. I said beep. Wow. Okay. Well, anyway, that is that. And last but not least, Steve, why is that actually a pretty good game plan, or not going to work? 30 seconds. What you got?
Well, like I said before, it depends what Rams secondary you get. You get the secondary we had the first 3 weeks. They did a great job against some decent quarterbacks. We actually got to play against Cam Newton. Nobody else has. We shut him down. I know Breeze got hurt, but Bridgewater, he beat the Seahawks. So if we get that secondary, I think we can shut down this passing attack. If we get last week's secondary, then yeah, they should be throwing the ball 100 times because we're not going to stop anything. But I have faith it's going to be the defense of the first 3 weeks, and I think we will contain Wilson because our secondary, we got some heavy hitters back there.
I love it, right at the buzzer. I love it because you're like talking about, this sounds like a DirecTV commercial, remember like the ones like, this is Tony Romo. This is, game time Tony Romo. This is artsy fartsy Tony Romo. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like what you're talking about right now, the Seahawks. Like, with the secondary of the Rams, that is. Like, these are the Seahawks who want to play. These are the Raiders. These are the Rams who want to play. And these are the Raiders imitation Seahawks. Rams, like.
That's why this game is so hard to predict, because on both sides of the ball, you don't know which Rams team you're going to get or which Seahawks team you're going to get. You really don't.
Awesome. Well, the votes are in. Thank you to everybody who voted. We appreciate you so much. Thank you, 3 and Out group here on Twitter, and I really appreciate y'all. And I appreciate everybody who voted today, who casted your votes. Well, since Monday, this voting poll has been going. So we really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for all of your votes. And, well, here we go. So,
first things first, got a big, gigantic round of applause for our two combatants here. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Steve Ribeiro of the Butting Heads podcast and Mr. Mike, I keep on saying Mike, and Mr. Brian McLaughlin, one half of the Common Grounds podcast, which I just played the commercial for, and by far, hey, I'm going to play it again right now as well. Let me go ahead and go to break. But Steve, you got any promos or anything recorded with Derek or anything like that, man, for the Butting Heads podcast? Please send them my way. I'm all about promotion, guys. That's what it's all about. Cross promotion, got to do it, and do the whole thing, and that's what it's all about, guys. So, all right, here we go. And with... Oh, this was a good one. Oh, I think the game is going to be this close, guys. Oh, I think it's going to be this close. So, this was a close voting poll, y'all. And with 53% of the votes, you, the listeners, are taking the Seattle Seahawks to win this thing at home. Oh my gosh.
That's what happens when you get shelled by the Buccaneers. We didn't deserve to win that poll. But look, we're coming back this week. Don't sleep.
I like that. Okay. Brian, your thoughts?
That poll sounds about right. It's about how close the game will be, but Seahawks are going to come out on top.
I love it. All right, so Steve, final score prediction. Some people are superstitious, but what do you got to say, man? You want to pass on that, or do you want to give us a final score prediction?
No, I'll absolutely give a prediction. I think I'm going to go 27-24 Rams. I think it'll be a close game. I don't anticipate there'll be a lot of offense. I don't think there'll be too much of a shootout, but I think the Rams come out on top in a close game. But it should be a fight, man. It's two good teams, two flaky teams, as Brandon said. I think it'll be a good one.
I like it. All right, Brian, your final thoughts, man, and a final score if you'd like.
I'm just a little bit higher score, but just as close. 35-31 Seahawks. There'll be another crazy last-minute fourth quarter. Russell Wilson, something happens, and we take it.
This is going to be awesome, y'all. So I'm really... What was that?
It's just going to be a good game. It's going to be great.
It is. I'm really excited for this game, y'all. So I'm looking forward to it, and let's have some fun. So anyway, y'all, with that said, I always tell all of our guests here that you have a little bit of time to go ahead and give your spiel at the end, and I always reserve some time. So with that said, starting off with Mr. Steve Ribeiro, go ahead, man. Plug yourself. Where can all these diehard Rams fans find you on Twitter? Where can they find your show, of course? I mean, Derek's been on the show before, so he's definitely given that. But hey, man, you go ahead, give your version of it. Where can they find you and all your work, man? Where can they find you on Twitter and any other avenues you would like to share?
Hey, you can find me at Steve Ribeiro on Twitter, REBIRO. We mentioned the Rams Talk Radio podcast. We got 6 shows a week pumping out content. You can find my specific show, Butting Heads. We come out usually every Wednesday, sometimes around the post game, and then I also write for the Rams Wire from USA Today, so you can find my written content there as well. Everything Rams. Look, if you're looking for Rams stuff, that's it. And if you're not a Rams fan, check out rotoballer.com. We put out a lot of great fantasy football content there.
Awesome. Alrighty. Well, great stuff there. And last but never least, Mr. Brian, where can they find you and your podcast and your co-host, if you want to mention him, and any other thing you'd like to mention to plug yourself for this segment?
Awesome. Thank you. So I'm my buddy Andrew and I host a Common Ground football podcast. He's a crazy Cowboys fan, and it's fun to have the banter back and forth because we both can't stand each other's teams. And you can find that at Common Ground FPP on Twitter. We're available everywhere you listen to podcasts. And I'm on Twitter at Wenatchee Seattle Sports Fan, which is WENSEA Sports Fan. You can catch my buddy Andrew at Andrew Guzman CGP. And check us out. We have a lot of fun. It's just like I said, two fan bases that don't like each other, and we like to speak for them. It's fun.
Oh, that is just awesome. I love it. And with that said, y'all, that will do it for the first primetime face-off of the evening. Can we get an applause? Because that was awesome. I mean, really, great stuff, everybody. Once again, thank you so much for being on today's show. This has been a fun one, and I'm so excited. Our next guests are already in the house, y'all, so we are ready to rock and roll for primetime face-off number 2. But
We gotta take ourselves a break, and when we get back, get ready, y'all. Primetime face-off number 2 coming your way. We have the Colts, who somehow lost to my terrible Raiders, taking on... I said it. I don't care. I said it. Taking on the team that beat us stupid, the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh yeah, this should be a fun one. Ladies and gentlemen, that is coming your way. On the other side of this break, you're listening to 3 and Out right here on IE Sports Radio, your directly for all that is sports. We'll see you right after this.
Hi, I'm Brian McLaughlin. In the National Football League, there are approximately 17 million total fans.
I'm Andrew Guzman. My Dallas Cowboys make up almost 9 million of those fans.
And my Seahawks have a very loyal fan base of around 4 million.
That's more than 3/4 of all the fans.
That's absolutely correct, Andrew. And on the Common Ground Football Podcast, we'll be talking about the good, bad, and the ugly of these teams.
We'll have weekly picks, discuss transactions, injuries.
And we'll chat about the rest of the league, too.
Blake freaking Bortles?
Oh, yes. And Captain Andrew Luck.
Excellent. What about Fitzmagic?
Oh, let's not get carried away now.
Oh, all right then.
Join us each week at commongroundfootballpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcast.
It's going to be
awesome.
Hey, what's up, sports fans? You're looking for a different type of sports talk show, something you haven't heard before? You got to check out the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday on 2 Live Stews Radio, 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Sports talk at its finest. Always have great guests, playing some good hip-hop. You don't want to miss it. Make sure to tune in to the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Ladies and gentlemen, hear me and hear me good. If you like sports, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like comedy, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like a different opinion coming from a different angle, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. So join me Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your host, Jelani J.B. Bodie. And of course, my man Lopan on the WaitAMinuteShow.com. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Good day, folks. Yours truly, Nico Green here, reminding you, tune in to the Neutral Zone Hockey Talk Radio Show, Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern, proudly brought to you by IE Sports Radio. It's the Neutral Zone. All hockey, all the time. Take care. See you soon.
What up, all you boxing fans? This is Vince Wright, the sports governor, and me and Gilbert Batista are the host of Ringside on IE Sports Radio. Make sure you keep it tuned to IE Sports Radio, Spreaker.com for the latest edition of Ringside. All the boxing news you need right here. Keep it tuned, Spreaker.com, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Lopan, they didn't even want you. Heck, they didn't even want me. But you know what? Right about now, they have no choice. Looking for the real sports talk? Talk that's for us, the people? Look no further. The Wait a Minute Show, a prime time sports comedy cocktail that tucks you in at night. Join me and Lopan Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 2LiveStewsRadio.com and Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the WaitAMinuteShow.com. Sounds like a plan to me. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Welcome back, football fans. Well, here we go. Lots of great shows you can hear there. Of course, I played once again the Common Grounds podcast drop there, so check it out, man. Show Matt. Oh, I keep on saying Matt. And then I say Mike, and then I say all these different... so many names to remember. My apologies, everybody. My apologies. But I definitely got to say, check out Brian, this podcast. Of course, check out Butting Heads as well with Mr. Steve Ribeiro. Lots of great stuff, y'all, and lots of great people. Today, we have two more. We have two newcomers coming your way right now. I'm so excited for both these guys to be on tonight's show because, what can you say, man? It's always fun. Football, in the words of... the head of our IE Sports Radio PR department, the lovely Miss Meg Renee, football is family. And I'm sure she's very happy right now because her Giants actually learned how to play football. And they did it to the expense of Mike's Redskins. I'm sorry, Mike. Anyway, so...
Don't worry.
I'm sorry. Okay, y'all. So, with that said, here we go. Let's go and get on to the second primetime face-off of the evening. We have here two teams who are, well, no, I was going to say something really stupid. I was going to say two teams trying to find their identity, but one is clearly identified already. And the other one, well, they're certainly trying to find their identity. Ladies and gentlemen, primetime face-off number 2, Sunday Night Football. The Indianapolis Colts taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Here we go. So starting us off tonight for the away team, he is diehard Colts fan, and this guy is actually by way of Indiana. He's very, he's a homer, and that's what I'm talking about, y'all. He seems like the real deal. Certainly a diehard Colts fan, and well, what can I say? He's here tonight to do battle for his first time on IE Sports Radio on 3 and Out, and hoping that's not the last. So really excited to have him here on the show tonight, and well, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in, of course, as I mentioned, the one and the only, Mr. Matt Sesgener. What's going on, Matt? How's it going, buddy?
Glad to be here. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You are very, very welcome, good sir, and hopefully... Okay, I got the last name right. I got it.
Yes, sir. No, that was perfect.
Yes, all right, I got it, yes. All right, so, all right, next up here, we have his combatant here to take him on tonight, of course, for Sunday Night Football once again. He is actually wow. I mean, it's kind of like you wonder how he became such a diehard fan, y'all. By way of Kansas City, Missouri. Diehard Kansas City Chiefs fan. And pretty cool because, I love how their baseball stadium is like right next door. He's got to be a diehard Royals fan. Which, of course, I told him earlier I don't like your team because I'm a Raider fan. And, of course, the Raiders don't like themselves half the time, which is sad, but whatever. But we can both share the mighty Bo Jackson, at least. We both have love for him equally. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, glad to have him here once again for his another first time here on IE Sports Radio on 3 and Out. Hopefully not his last by a far stretch. Glad to have him here, and, I'm glad. I'm glad both these guys are here tonight, and this is going to be a fun one, y'all. So, once again, welcoming to 3 and Out for his very first time, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the one, the only, Mr. Bobby Tuzinski. What's going on, Bobby? How you doing today, man?
Hey, thank you, man. Thanks for having me on here.
Well, I'm very glad to have you as well, and thank you very much. I got the last name right.
Yes, correct. Yeah, you got it correct.
Awesome. Yes, okay, I'm good. I feel good right now. So, all right. Anyway, I know, right? Larry B gets hyped off of getting last names correct. Whatever. Anyway, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Let's go ahead and jump on into tonight's debate. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to go into a series here of different questions. Actually, Mike's going to be running the show tonight, so we'll both ask you guys a question, and then after that, Mike will just ask you guys very common stuff. Ask you, of course, your thoughts, your X factors, pick out a weakness for each other's teams that you think you can exploit, and then, of course, a game plan for each other. You guys will have a 30-second rebuttal. Oh my gosh, sorry. That was crazy. I was out of nowhere. You guys will have a 30-second rebuttal between all those and all the good stuff. But anyway, I always tell Mike, hey man, put your own twist on it and do your own thing. But those are kind of, just in case you guys are kind of wondering what to expect, that's kind of what we're going through, at the moment. So let's go ahead and get through that and have some fun. So with that said, here we go, y'all. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, ready to rock and roll. Sunday Night Football, Colts versus Chiefs. Let's start this thing off. All right, Mike, what is your question? Once again, we'll start with the away team. So Mr. Matt first, and then on over to Mr. Bobby. Then I'll ask my questions, and then it's the Mike show. So let's do this thing, man. Without further ado, primetime face-off number 2. Mike, take it away.
Alrighty, gentlemen. First of all, I'm going to lead off by saying I'm not going to try to pronounce either of your last names, so we're just going to throw that out there right now. So let's start off with Matt and the Colts. Matt, pretty solid performance from the Colts so far, given the news of Andrew Luck retiring during the preseason. I think a lot of people counted this team down and out, but they've been pretty competitive. Even though they lost to the Raiders last week, it was still a very close game. What do you think has been the secret that has kept them in, despite losing their franchise quarterback and having to go with, well, not necessarily a bad quarterback, but a less experienced backup quarterback?
In general, I would say it's honestly Chris Ballard. He built a deeper team, not a team that Andrew Luck necessarily, or the quarterback necessarily, had to carry the team, but we were able to rely more on our offense line and, well, last year our defense, but not through the first 4 weeks of this year, but definitely our offense line, and Frank Reach has a lot to do with that too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, I know some people have pondered the question, and I definitely ponder the question is, would Andrew Luck still be playing if, he had an offensive line more like this one the entirety of his career? And we won't dive into that issue. Andrew Luck, we wish him all best of luck in retirement, no pun intended. At least that's something I wonder in my mind is how well would Andrew Luck be doing right now if he had this offensive line the whole time. But anyways, we move on with our lives, of course. All right, now on to Bobby. Bobby, how you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing great.
Excellent. So your Chiefs, Pat Mahomes, really glad I took him in fantasy football. Doing pretty well for me so far. 4-0 team, great comeback win against the Lions last week. Showing a couple chinks in the armors, not as dominant, per se, but still really good. What do you think has been the key for them? So kind of different as opposed to key to, overcoming the loss of Andrew Luck. What has been the key for them to maintaining such a high level of performance, as to what is essentially Patrick Mahomes' second season? The sophomore slump really hasn't hit him very hard.
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree. I definitely think the one thing that's really helped out the Chiefs is that they have, at times they've looked like they're going to get defeated during a certain stretch of the game. But really, in order to, to really beat any team, and a team as caliber and as strong as the Chiefs, you got to beat them for a full 60 minutes. And I do think that teams have been able to find ways to beat them for a quarter here and there, but they haven't been able to put them away like the Lions probably should have last week. And I think that's something that, Pat Mahomes in such a early part of his career has been able to, he looks like one of these elite quarterbacks who, like he did last week, the team was down by, I believe, 4 points. Going with about 2.5 minutes left in the game, was able to, manufacture a long drive to win the game there at the end. And, I think that's something that's it's helping out the Chiefs and Mahomes with his confidence is even when they're behind, they're able to still, find a way to win and pull out a victory.
Yeah, and I think I saw a graphic. It wasn't after last week. It was after the week before, after week 3, where Pat Mahomes broke, I think, 4 or 5 major quarterback records for, touchdowns, yards, etc. in their first 19 games, and he broke them by a lot. So that's just kind of the talent we're dealing with here in Mahomes. All right, Larry, your turn for a question for these two gentlemen.
Alrighty, well, quick and dirty, guys. I won't take too much of your time, but all right. I mean, seriously, I just gotta ask, dude. Matt, you guys are. It's rough, man. The Colts just had a rough start to the season, but there's a young man there who I'm just so excited for, man. I thought he was going to succeed Brady. I mean, he was a Patriot. He knows the Patriot way. I know you guys really don't like the Patriots, sorry. But I do know that your team is absolutely, tough go for Andrew Luck. But I just got to ask him, do you really see Brissett being that dude? Are you convinced right now that he's somebody that you really feel is going to move forward and take the reins and be that, that next up for you guys to really, really be that dynamic quarterback to come out and be the franchise? Or do you feel it's too early to even say that? Or do you feel like, he's good for now, but I don't know if he's actually our future. So what do you think?
Man, I've been thinking about that a lot through the first 4 weeks of the year so far, and I truly think that he is a quarterback who can win a Super Bowl with a great team around him. I don't think he's awful, but I don't think he's anything elite at the same time. I don't think he's going to be able to carry a team to the Super Bowl. I feel like we should look into other options maybe in the draft. I wouldn't go out and draft a first-round quarterback, but maybe rounds 4 through 7, a project guy, see what we get. But Brissett has really impressed me through the first 4 weeks. We saw what we had in, 2017, under a little bit different coaching, but he had potential at that time, too. Showed off his, strong arm, but he's a good game manager, only 2 picks through the first 4 games of the year so far. So he's a good game manager. If our defense and run game can really put together, and if we can stop dropping the ball, it would really help him at the same time.
Well, great answer, and I could see him as well with a great team around to win the Super Bowl, winning a Super Bowl or multiple. So we shall see. All right, Bobby, this is I can't stand your team. I'm just kidding. You guys are just nuts, man. Like, seriously, Mahomes, we already know he is that guy. The guy is doing impressive things on the field. You can't ask much more of this guy. So what do you feel right now is going to get you guys over the hump? Last year, Lamar Hunt almost came home. I mean, you guys were close, but no cigar. What is it going to take right now? I mean, you guys are currently undefeated. I know an undefeated season for you guys is probably, who cares? As long as you win the bowl, I know you're excited for that. But right now, realistically, man, and this is early on in the season. The first quarter of the season is in the books. We're now in we're starting the second quarter of the season on tomorrow night. With how you guys have looked through 4 games so far, maybe not a whole bunch of adversity, but honestly and realistically, man, do you really feel that this team can actually get to the bowl this year and possibly take that Lombardi home?
Well, I think right now, it's probably them or the Patriots in the AFC. I think their chances do look pretty good, and it's just a matter of, can we get over the hump and actually beat the Patriots, in an AFC championship game? And I think right now, defensively, everyone's kind of saying, the quarterbacks or the secondary in general is kind of the weakness right now. But I really think it's really been a lack of a pass rush right now, which I think is going to really need to, come to life at some point. I think, the signing of Frank Clark right now has been kind of a major disappointment with his lack of getting sacks and pressure onto the quarterback. So I really think defensively, offensively, I think we all kind of realize that, this offense is, a Super Bowl bound, offense. But defensively, this team, they need to get a lot more pressure on the quarterback than the lack of what they're getting right now. So if they can start getting some of that, pressures, here coming up going forward with, starting with Sunday night's game, then I would feel a lot more confident than, overtaking the Patriots and potentially getting to the Super Bowl.
Great answer. All righty. Well, great job, both of you guys. I'm excited for this face-off. Here it goes. Mike, it's all you, man.
Alrighty, gentlemen. I want a good, clean fight. No shots below the belt. Of course, you can't actually physically hit each other. So, if you want to take a few, verbal jabs, that's all right. The way I do my face-offs is a little bit different than Larry B. Basically, step 1 is going to be X factors. I'm going to ask you guys who is the X factor for each of your teams. It can be any player on the team, offense, defense, special teams. It can even be coaching if you guys really want to get that creative. More props to you. And then we're going to move into key matchup. Again, offensive or defensive side of the ball. Whichever matchup you think is the most important for your team to win the game, and then we'll go into the game plan. So similar to Larry's for the third step, and then it's not going to be until the very last stage, the final thoughts, where you finally get to take jabs at the other team. But that one can be the longest one, and you can take as much time as you want. The first 3 will rattle through kind of pretty quickly, just quick hits, and then we'll get to the end, and you will give your final thoughts and a prediction if you so desire. So shake hands digitally through your computers, and let's get this battle underway. So we'll start with Matt, the away team. So Matt, give us your X factor, your one player who you think is going to be the biggest key to winning this game in Kansas City.
I'm actually going to go with kind of a surprising one on defense. I'm going to go with Quentin Wilson for Quincy Wilson, for our safety. He's going to be starting safety more than likely for Lee Cooker and Clayton Gaither's both out, so it's probably going to be Wilson in the back. And going up against Mahomes, you really have to be on your game against him. Big plays come in abundant with the Chiefs, so we're either going to have to get really good pass rush, which we haven't been able to do through the first 4 games. Thankfully, we do have Jabal Sheard back, but Wilson is really going to have to step it up in the secondary because he hasn't really played well at corner this year.
Very true. I did not know that. That is a very interesting development. I knew a little bit about Wilson coming out of UF, right? I'm getting the college right. He was yeah. So very interesting development. And he certainly has the size and the athleticism to make it work. So we'll see on that front. All right, Bobby. Now on to you for Kansas City, the undefeated Chiefs. Your X factor into making it to 5-0 on the season.
Well, I think definitely my X factor is probably got to be, I'm not sure if it's one particular person, but it's definitely the offensive line for me, with both run blocking and pass protection. And, it sounds like what Matt was saying with the Colts haven't really been able to get to the quarterback yet a whole lot this year. I'm kind of curious to see the matchup of former Chief Justin Houston. Returning back to Arrowhead, and I'm sure he's going to be anxious to get to Mahomes. I like to see how the pass protection is from our offensive line, especially against someone like Justin Houston coming back. So I definitely think that's kind of my X factor, in this matchup.
The Chiefs actually have a pretty good offensive line. Most people don't give them the credit they deserve, but it's actually a pretty good unit. I really like Mitchell Schwartz at right tackle. He's a really good player. Moving on to the next phase. Now we enter into matchup, key matchup, offensive or defensive, can be either or. You can keep it the same as your X factor, kind of, but if you can make it different, even better. That's up to you. So, Matt, let's start with you. What is your key matchup that you will be watching for in this game?
I'm really going to be watching Chris Jones, the end for the Chiefs. If he lines up on the right side, anywhere near Glow or Braden Smith over there, it's going to be a tough night for the offense line for the Colts. Hopefully he'll be matched up with Nelson most tonight or Costanzo, but if he slides to the right side against Glow or Braden Smith, that right side's a little weaker.
True. Chris Jones is a great player. So whatever side he's going to line up on, it's going to be tough, even for the better players on that Colts offensive line. All right, Bobby. Moving on to you. Your key matchup for this game.
Yeah, I think my key matchup is probably going to be Travis Kelce in this matchup. Especially if Indianapolis plays the usual kind of zone defense like they showed in the playoffs last year. I think this could be a matchup in which Kelce hasn't really had a lot of scoring opportunities yet, or hasn't he gotten to the end zone at least a whole lot this year. I think this could be a matchup in which you see him target quite a bit, or actually find some. Gets in the end zone a couple times maybe this game. So that's the matchup I'm kind of looking at to see is how the Colts defense kind of attacks that middle of the field with Kelce.
Yeah, I've got Kelce on one of my fantasy teams, so Matt, no offense, but if that could work out for me, that'd be great. Just saying. All right. So, all right. So, moving on to game plan. So, this one you guys can go a little bit more in depth in because it encompasses the whole team, really, both offense and defense. So, Matt, give us your game plan. Now, this is the game plan that you think the Colts would be successful running. So, not necessarily what the Colts have run this year, or what they were more likely to run, but what you think they should do that gives them the best chance to win.
It's really going to be tough if we're without Marlon Mack and T.Y. Hilton. They're still kind of questionable for Sunday night, but if we have Marlon Mack, for sure, just running the ball, kill as much clock as you can, keep Mahomes off the field, kind of like they used to do with Peyton Manning, just trying to keep him off the field as much as possible. That's really the only way to slow down this Chiefs offense. But also, the Chiefs have gone 34 straight home games without allowing 30 points or more, so we're going to have to really keep it a low-scoring game. Hopefully, we can score enough just to beat them without them hitting 30. Defensively, we're really going to have to tighten up, like he was saying on Travis Kelce. The middle of the field has been just wide open for us most of the season. Tight ends have really eaten us up, so hopefully we can tighten up in the middle of the field on that zone defense. I think definitely pass rush will help out a lot with that. Then even after they catch it, we have to get to the ball because their yards after catch is incredible. So we really have to just play tight defense and tackle after they catch it.
Yeah, no, that sounds solid. I think that if the Colts can execute that, particularly if Mac is healthy, they'll have a pretty good chance in this one. All right, Bobby, moving on to you, your game plan, offense and defense. Let us have it. What do you think the Chiefs need to do in this one?
Well, I think offensively, it's been kind of strange. They haven't really had the last 3 games. They haven't really played that well in the first quarter, and I think they need to definitely get some points in the first quarter. I don't think they've scored a touchdown in the first quarter since week 1, and so I think that definitely putting some points on the board early. If they don't do that, then I think you're going to give a young Colts team a lot of confidence. Go into the rest of the game if the Chiefs' offense isn't clicking right away. I would like to be able to put a team like the Colts out fairly early in this game, and move on to the following week. But so that's what I'm kind of looking for the offense game plan wise. But then defensively, I think it's just there's a lot of stuff they could work on in this game. But I think if Mac is healthy, and it sounds like he's going to be healthy to play in this game, focusing on stopping that run. With Chris Jones in particular up front, if they can stop that run early and force a young quarterback like Brissett, who hasn't really been proven yet, to make him make decisions and have to throw the ball a lot, then I think that's how you beat the Colts is make Brissett beat you, and not so much have Mac control that ground game.
Yeah, no, you got to make sure you keep turning out those points, because the defense has shown inconsistencies even going back to last year. So getting Mahomes on the field, basically the opposite of what Matt said, getting Mahomes on the field and scoring points. That's the way for any team to win. So all right, so now this is the fun part. So like I said, this one you guys can kind of take your time on, no rush. Your final thoughts on this game overall. It can cover any topic you want. And of course, this is your opportunity to take some shots at the other team. So go ahead and do that if you so desire. Just remember, all thoughts are the speaker's own here on IE Sports Radio. And yeah, give us a prediction and a final score. Just kind of lump that all into one. So as we've been doing, Matt, let's kick it off with you.
Man, this is probably a tough one going first. I don't know how much shots I have to take after, the start we've had and after the playoff game we played against them. But this game, I think we're going to come out a lot better than we did last week. We have a lot. I think that game should really motivate us, and the last playoff game against the Chiefs should really motivate us for this game. Getting Darius Leonard back is going to be huge help, especially against, like I said, again, this Kansas City offense. But hopefully we can pull it out. I know Frank Reach is a great coach. Hopefully he'll put together a good game plan. We just have to keep running behind the left side of the offense line, Quentin Nelson and Costanzo. Hopefully Jack Doyle will stay there and not drop the ball. We cannot drop any passes this game. We have to execute 100%. No turnovers, no penalties. We just have to really tighten up, no mistakes, execute our game plan to a T.
All right, very good. And now on to Bobby. Bobby, like I said, take your shots if you so desire. And yeah, give us your final thoughts on this game, anything you want, and a final prediction and score if you so desire.
Sure, yeah. Well, anytime the Chiefs, any Chiefs fan, we saw Indianapolis on the schedule, or if we had to play them in the playoffs prior to last season, this is one of the last teams we ever wanted to see or have to face. But we kind of exercised those demons, obviously last season, the playoffs being the Colts here at Arrowhead. So I think now with having Mahomes here, pretty much any sort of demon that we had, obviously the getting to a Super Bowl is still, the biggest challenge we have left to get to. It used to be the Colts were one of the teams that we just never wanted to face, but I think now it's, we don't really fear them as much anymore, which is kind of strange after, going back to 95 with our first playoff loss against them. We just have not had very much luck against them. And, it's funny how, having a franchise quarterback now changes all that, and obviously that's what the Colts were used to with having Manning and then Luck there for a little bit. So, I think this is a good challenge for the Chiefs to have on a primetime game. I think this is kind of a team, even though, Luck did retire during the preseason, I think this is still a good enough team to make to the playoffs, and this is a team that you definitely still can't sleep on. But I think this game is going to be a game that it's still going to be fairly close. I don't think the Chiefs cover this one. I think they're going to win 30-24.
All right, very good. And Matt, did you give a prediction, or did you not want to give one?
No, if I gave a prediction, I'd probably say 28-24 Colts.
All right, very good. It was actually funny, guys. Last week in the showdown that I hosted, both guys picked the same team. One guy actually picked against this team, and it was the Eagles game, and they won. So, there you go. I
can never do that.
I know, right? So, Larry B, I'm going to pass it back to you for the final bit.
Alrighty, well, hey, once again, that was awesome, y'all. So, round of applause. Great job for both of our combatants here today. That was really cool. Great job to both of our combatants here today. Awesome job. And I couldn't appreciate you guys enough for being on tonight's show. You guys are awesome and really appreciate you for taking the time out to do this today. So, here we go. We are now on to the what the fans thought. And let's go ahead and scroll down. Thank you to everybody who voted on the IE Sports Radio poll. And, well, the votes are in. And I'm scrolling down to find the results. And let's see who you, the listeners, are going to take in this game. All right, here we go. So, oh my. Well, I think for sure this may be a little expected, but I did not think it'd be this lopsided. Regardless, let's do it. So, and with 81% of the votes, you, the listeners, are taking the Kansas City Chiefs to win this thing at home. I mean, surprise, surprise, right? But do not count out these Colts, man. I know a lot of you want the Chiefs. They're an extremely talented team who have lots to offer as a football team, and they have so much talent. I don't blame you one bit. However, these Colts, do not sleep on these Colts. They can come out and give. I don't think anybody thought the Lions were going to give the Chiefs as good as a fight as they did. So once again, that's Matt Patricia. Just saying, nothing against the Chiefs head or the Colts head coach or defense coordinator or anything like that. But I guess we'll say right now, certainly not the easiest game for the Chiefs last week. And well, teams are going to continue to make it hard for them. Sometimes you just play to you play to that level, and that's how it is. You have a big game. Sometimes you just play to that level. I know I've done that before, so it is what it is. But with that said, great job once again to both of you tonight. And, well, the final votes are in. Once again, 81% for the Chiefs. Bobby, your thoughts on the voting poll for the fans' pick, man?
I think it's spot on. I mean, I think that's, on paper, I think this is, I think a lot of people are going to probably say, yeah, this should be the Chiefs, or they're playing at home on a primetime game, which I think the Chiefs have done, pretty well of late, and playing in primetime games, whether it's home or away. So, yeah, I have to agree. I think it's, 80% is probably what I'd be probably looking at. Okay.
Well, any thoughts there as well, Mr. Matt? Any thoughts for the fans' vote?
Man, any given Sunday, anything can happen. If we can just execute and keep it actually a really boring game instead of a kind of a more exciting one the Chiefs are used to, any given Sunday.
Hey, I like really boring because that means defense, and I love defense.
I love defense.
That's right. My favorite games are...
I got two things to throw in there about that number. First of all, it's not the all-time record because I think, what was it, like 3 weeks ago, Larry, we had a vote that was like 86% or something.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's not an all-time record, so don't feel too bad about that, Matt. And number two, last week I think it was 82% of teams picked the Titans over the Jaguars, 82% of voters. So back to the any given Sunday statement. Just saying, that might be a vote of confidence.
It's so true. Anything can happen, and we shall see. So, with that said, let's do this, y'all. That is that for this Primetime Face-Off. Once again, we thank you both so much for being a part of this thing here tonight. You guys are absolutely awesome, and we certainly appreciate the heck out of y'all for being here. So, let's go ahead and throw in the final spiel. So, here we go, y'all. Starting off with Mr. Matt. Anything you'd like to add, man? Anything else? Of course, want to go ahead and plug yourself, where all these diehard Colts can find you. Where can all these diehard Colts find you? On Twitter and any other social media you'd like to share, or any other outlets? If you write anything, if you're a podcast, or whatever you may do, man, go ahead and take your time, man. Let us know, let these Colts fans know where they can find you.
Any Colts fans that want to follow me on Twitter, it's at MATTSEZ21. Matt says 21, Colt says 25 as my username on there. I get on there usually every day to talk about sports stuff, Colt stuff usually, friendly arguments. I'm an aspiring podcast, so anytime I'm offered to be on a podcast, absolutely, I'm always down for it. Other than that, I think that's all.
Awesome job. Alrighty. Well, with that said, we also, as I mentioned, we got another, first timer here, but glad to have him a part of it. Alright, so Mr. Bobby, go ahead, man. Let all these diehard Chiefs fans know where they can find you on Twitter, or any other publications you may do, or anything that you want to share. Go ahead, man. Let these Chiefs fans know.
Sure, yeah. My Twitter handle is just at my name. It's going to be at Bob and then Tuzinski. That's TOUZINSKY. Usually I just mainly I'm tweeting about Chiefs and pretty much anything sports related for the most part. So I'm also, like you said, a big Royals fan as well. So I'm pretty much open to anything that's Kansas City sports related, or just any sports in general.
Alrighty, well, there you have it, y'all. So once again, where's that applause button? Because that was awesome. Great job to both of you. Thank you so much for being on the show tonight. That was awesome. Certainly looking forward to Sunday night's game. Looking forward to tweeting with you guys as well. And definitely looking forward to having you guys on future shows. So thank you so very much. Best luck to both your teams. Hey, have a wonderful rest of your guys' week, man. God bless you both and your families. And hang tight. And we'll go ahead and, just wait till the commercial real quick, and that will be that. So, alright, y'all, with that said, we have one more primetime face-off coming your way. That's right, y'all. And this one is interesting, because these are two teams who were bottom of the barrel, and now they're actually competitive. What? Excuse me? Anyway, with that said, we got one more primetime face-off coming your way, y'all. Browns, Niners, Monday Night Football Week 5, and we got a first-timer and a guy who has been on 3 and Out, I think, more than any other person in the last month, because his Browns have been on primetime like a lot. So, well, we will welcome back a familiar voice to 3 and Out coming up after this break. Once again, you're listening to 3 and Out right here on IE Sports Radio, your directly for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, what's up, BS3 sports fans? If you love listening to the BS3 Sports Show, check out the weekend wrap-up every Monday at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern, recapping the weekend in sports like you never heard it before. Comedy, interactive chat room, it's a must-listen. Weekend wrap-up on Spreaker.com, part of the X Squad. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Hello, soccer fans. Pierre Moss here with you. I am the host of the Soccer Scoreboard Show, right here on IE Sports Radio each and every week. Games and the best action from around the world of soccer. Not only do we have live scores for you, but we also news and all the latest stories from the soccer world right here on the Soccer Scoreboard Show. Come join us each and every week right here on IE Sports Radio.
Hi everybody, it's Calvin here from USRN, here to give you an important message. Since 2017, we have done our absolute best to provide you with nothing but the highest quality of sports calls in the greatest of quantity possible. Thanks to you, our station has grown more than we ever thought. That's why, with your help, we would like to grow even further. Just think, twice the amount of your favorite calls, 24 hours of coverage, talk shows, play-by-play, game-by-game analysis, and so much more. That's right, USRN2 is officially in development, but we can't do it alone. We have set up a GoFundMe page that you can access from our homepage on the left of your screen. We also are planning special giveaways and prizes to our highest owners. Our goal here at USRN is to bring you the best calls possible at no cost to you. In order to continue to do that, we need your help now. Please check out our GoFundMe page, and if you would like to know how you can help, you can email usrnradio@gmail.com. Without your support, we couldn't do what we do.
My NBA college basketball fans out there, tired of hearing about just the dramatic stuff in the basketball world, tired of hearing about what such and such wore tonight and not about the game? Hey, leave all of that alone, because on Wednesday nights I got this show called Fast Break with Phil Jones here on the IE Sports Radio. And all we talk about is straight basketball, from where it comes down to the NBA, the NCAA, and even the WNBA. I don't discriminate. I give all my NBA, my basketball, whatever you want with sports, to the slam dunks, to the three-pointers, to the teardrops, to the game winners. I'm there. I'm speaking about it. I have a debate. I have my panel. I got a squad that rolls in. And we're going to be talking mad sports. We're going to be talking about the Lakers. We're going to be talking about even the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to be talking about who's the top team out there in the NBA. So, tired all the drama. Tired all the... What did he wear today? What kind of shoes he had? Forget all that. Just come over. Fast Break with Phil Jones here on IE Sports Radio every Wednesday night at 8 Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time, y'all. So, yo, tune in.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Vince Wright, the sports governor from the great state of Minnesota, and I want to thank you for listening to Sports Done Right. Make sure you're checking us out on all of our platforms, whether it's Spreaker.com, XSquadAffiliates.com. We're also heard on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, so keep it tuned here. More great things coming from Sports Done Right.
From the home plate to the nets, the end zone to the finish line, here nothing is off limits and no sport is safe. Not what it seems with your host Caitlin Seam, bringing you sports like you've never heard before. Catch me Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, right here on IE Sports Radio. The only question is, are you ready?
Were you listening to a great game on USRN, but then the Wi-Fi crashed in the final seconds? Or do you simply want to listen to the best calls we here at USRN have to offer? Well then, you need to go check out our Audio Boom page. It holds a collection of our best calls that you don't want to miss. How do I get there, you ask? You can download the Audio Boom app and look up Ultimate Sports Radio, or simply go to audiobook.com/Ultimate Sports Radio. And as always, thanks for listening and making USRN one of the most talked about sports networks on Mixler.com.
Here comes the pitch, and it comes in wide.
On the BS3 Sports Show.
Welcome to the BS3 Sports Podcast. We hope your experience with us is amazing. Sports talk, comedy, social issues, and more. BS3 is the best source. Can you dig it, you sucker?
Hey USRN fans, do you have a product or company you're trying to promote? Look no further. USRN is teaming up with small local businesses trying to establish themselves via online promotion. Let us know if you're interested. Email us at usrnradio@gmail.com to learn more.
Attention, all sports fans! If you're someone who wakes up each morning with lists of sporting events to go along with your to-do list for the day, then you just might be a diehard. The world of sports is as vast as the ocean is deep, including the major leagues, the minor leagues, the college, and everything in between. This is me, your boy LARvsSEA of IE Sports Radio, welcoming you to join me every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on The Defining Moment, a show that focuses on what really matters in the sports world, sports themselves, and nothing outside of them. Once again, tune in for The Defining Moment with me, your boy LARvsSEA, every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on IE Sports Radio, right here on Spreaker.com. We'll see you there. That is right, football fans, right here on Spreaker.com. This is me, your boy LARvsSEA, live right now, coming to you from Southern Cali. But of course, all of our co-hosts over there in North Carolina, Mr. Mike, and our two combatants now, one from Jersey and one from Cleveland. I know, she's not necessarily from San Francisco, but she has her story of how she became a Niner. Anyway, with that said, y'all, here we go on to the final prime-time face-off of the evening. Here we go, y'all. Monday Night Football, the Cleveland Browns taking on the San Francisco 49ers in that big, beautiful new stadium on over there in Santa Clara, which is not in Frisco. It's not. It's nowhere near it, actually. I don't know how they're still San Francisco 49ers, but anyway, not quite sure how that still works. But yes, they are out there in beautiful. I've never been there. Actually, I've been through it, but yeah, beautiful Santa Clara and in Levi Stadium, and well, it's gonna be awesome. So we have ourselves a good little scrap coming up here, and to start us off, let's go ahead and introduce our two combatants. So, representing the away team, you have heard him here on 3 and Out,
Like, literally, like, I think this is his third time because the Browns have been in prep time like crazy, and, well, they're still here. And, hey, every time I know who to call, man. Ben's the guy, and Ben's like, no problem, dude, I got you. Like, all the way from Ohio, extremely excited Browns fan, and more than likely a Mount Union fan, which, unless you really love college football, you have no idea who Mount Union is. And if you do love college football, then you know that they are the Alabama of Division III. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the one, the only, Mr. Ben White. What's going on, Ben?
Hey, thanks for having me back, man.
You're very welcome. And it's great having you back, good sir. So thank you so much for being on here. He's a Buckeye, and, well, his Buckeyes are probably going to destroy Michigan later on this year, as they always do. Anyway, so here we go, y'all. Continuing on, next up, we have here a brand new, she's so new, you can still smell, like, that package, like freshly wrapper, like, kind of smell, like, you know, when you open up the box, there's those little, like, styrofoam, little curly things that are in there. Like, you know, like, yeah, she's brand spanking new to the show, y'all, and we're so glad to have her here tonight, just like our last two guests. Great always to have newcomers, and we definitely love it. Glad to have her here, a part of her very first Primetime Face-Off, and hopefully it's her first of many times here on the show. Really looking forward. She said, I'll take on whoever, and she's, like, really excited to take on an NFC West, you know, foe, or rival, if you will. And we were looking right now, and we discovered that the Niners are facing the Arizona Cardinals in Week 9, and if all of you have been, for those of you long, you faithful to the show here, well, you know that Miss Angela is quite the diehard, and oh boy, Jess and Angela are gonna go at it, which is gonna be pretty sweet. But we're gonna have some fun that week. Hopefully, we can get that thing going on. But with that said, y'all, let's go ahead and introduce her. She is by way of New Jersey and a diehard Niners fan, and I have to have her explain why she's a Niner fan. To all of you, I literally have to, like, seriously. So go around after I introduce you. Please go ahead and give your story of why you're a Niner fan, Miss Jess. But ladies and gentlemen, welcoming diehard 49ers fan, all the way from the other side of the country, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Jess from Jersey. What's going on, Jess?
Woo! What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
We're very happy to have you. And real quick, how did you become such a diehard Niner fan?
Well, it starts with my dad watching Joe Montana at Notre Dame. Followed him into the NFL. My brother's a Niners fan, my mother, my sisters, my nephew. I have family out in Sonoma County, and that's that. Hey,
Sonoma. One of my favorite tracks in NASCAR. Anyway, just a fun little tidbit. Anyway, I know everyone's like, I don't really care. Anyway, so, with that said, let's go ahead and get on into the face-off. So here we go. We'll start off with a question from Mr. Mike Pat, and then we'll go ahead and jump on into the face-off. So, Mike, start off with the away team, as you know, duh, and continue on. So, let's see, who is the away team? Ben, we'll start with you, and then transition on in to Miss Jess, and, well, you know the drill. Mike, take it away.
All right, just real quick before we jump into this, Sonoma County, also great wine country. Losing to my question. There you go. All right, throw that out there. All right. All right, so, Ben, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Pretty good. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. It's always great when I get to talk about football. All right, so your Cleveland Browns, huge win last week in Baltimore over the Ravens, division rivalry game. You lose that, and Baltimore gets a 2-game lead early. Really kind of puts you on the back foot, but now you're tied for the division lead. It was an uneven start for the Browns, but with the talent on this team, do you think that win is going to be the catalyst that gels them all together and allows them to jump forward? Because I'm not going to lie, and I think Larry B had this as well. We both had them winning the division, I think. So, so do you think this is the catalyst that allows them to gel moving forward and get to their potential?
Oh, yeah, I definitely think so. That game was pretty much a must-win. I mean, if you look at the schedule over the next 3 weeks, it's pretty tough. If they would have lost to Baltimore, I don't know if they could have recovered, honestly, because I could have seen things spinning out of control. I think as long as they can make it through these next 2 weeks, 1 and 2, that game's still going to help them gel and probably be able to
to make it through the season and win the division, I believe. With the schedule gets a lot easier after the Patriots game. So as long as they can get through these next few weeks, I do honestly believe that the Baltimore game is going to be the game we look back at as what got the season on the right track and everything for them.
Very good. Yeah, no, I'm a little worried because this is a team that, with that catalyst, they could be pretty good. All right. So, Miss Jess from Jersey, how you doing, Jess?
Doing okay. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing well. So I've got a kind of specific question for you, so I'll try to run through kind of the information really quickly. So far through 3 weeks, this is the stats guy coming out, everybody. Matt Breida and Raheem Mostert, the top 2 running backs for the 49ers, have 428 rushing yards in the first 3 games for the Niners. But none of them have a rushing touchdown. All of the rushing touchdowns have been Jeff Wilson, the third-string guy. Now, Mostert does have a receiving touchdown, so he has found the end zone. But I looked for Breida, who, almost 300 yards of total offense and no touchdowns. He hasn't had a touchdown in his last 7 games going back to last year, which is a shame because he's touched the ball almost 100 times. So that's a lot of times to not find the end zone for such a good player as Breida is. So do you think this is the game where Matt Breida, poor no touchdowns for him, Matt Breida, finally crosses that goal line and gets in the end zone?
I hope so, because he's on my fantasy team.
There you go.
And that would get me some points. But I think so. I like Jeff Wilson Jr. I think he's been a real, red zone threat for us. But I think Breida does it on Monday. Not once, but twice.
Ooh, there you go. All right, that's kind of prediction. All right, Larry, passing to you.
Alrighty, well, with that said, y'all, we'll catch Mike in just a bit to come back for our final weigh-in to give our picks for the week and to weigh in about these primetime games. So thanks again, Mr. Mike, and we'll catch you in a bit. So, alrighty, y'all, let's do it. Let's have some fun and jump on into primetime face-off number 3. Here we go, starting with the away team. We are going to do things like this. X Factors. You love them. I love them. We all love X Factors, right? All right. So, starting things off, X Factors. I want to know, Mr. Ben, you are the away team, so you will start us off. Give us, in 1 minute's time, good sir, let us know, who are your X Factors for this game and why?
I got 2 offense and 2 defense. On offense, we got Ricky Seals-Jones, the tight end that stepped in and is had a pretty good game 2 weeks ago against the Rams, and then kind of broke out a little bit this past week. I think the Browns need to have him build on that to have a little bit of success, have some of those underneath passing routes, open some things up for both the run game and the deep pass. It's just something that they haven't had. He seems to have a lot better hands than Njoku, so hopefully he can build on that. Nick Chubb is my other offensive X factor, and that is actually for his pass blocking to deal with the 49ers pass rush. And then on defense, my X factors are Joe Schobert, who's the heart and soul of the defense. He's got about, I think he's 5th in tackles in the league right now. He's going to have to be all over the place to try to stop the run game and actually help in pass coverage a little bit. And trying to remember the last, I can't remember the last defensive X factor. Jermaine Whitehead. He needs to just be able to build on the game he had on last week. He was, he probably won't have nearly that game, but I think he will play well.
Alrighty, good stuff there. And my bad, I probably ran a little bit over. My bad, guys. I know I went a little bit over. So I'll give Jess about 120 as well. But all right, so good stuff there for the X Factors. Jess, go right on ahead. You have 1 minute and 20 seconds. Who are your X Factors for this game?
Well, I'm going to start off with Kyle Shanahan. He needs to call a good game and not be conservative. Also, Jimmy Garoppolo, he needs to execute and not try to turn the ball over. That's as far as offense goes. Defense, I'm actually going to go with our D coordinator, Robert Saleh. I think he needs to, make adjustments when needed. And I'm going to go with Nick Bosa. I think he'll have a really good game. I mean, I know he has 1 sack on the season so far, but, maybe he'll rack up a couple more. So we'll see what happens. But it should be a good game.
I like it. Okay, well, there you go. Starting things off with the coaches there. So, okay, now let's have some fun with the "Oh no, you didn't." I'm just playing. Let's go ahead and jump on into the back and forth fire round. This is always fun because this can get really ugly or it could be really nice. Like seriously, this is the craziest part. Like this can get really ugly. So let's have some fun with it. Like, or it could be or it could be really nice. So we'll find out. All right, so. Starting things off, Ben, go ahead, man. Pick out a weakness. What's something that you seriously feel the Niners are just like weak, and y'all can go ahead and take advantage of it and exploit them, and exploit whatever that is that you say is weak on their team, and help you guys earn that victory on the road on Monday night. You have 1 minute on the clock. Begin.
I'll admit that I haven't really watched much of the 49ers. I did get to catch the end of the Steelers-49ers game. They were showing it on the scoreboard the night of the Rams game. I think their weakness, probably based on what I've read, is their secondary. I think the Browns could try to exploit that a little bit, especially with the return of Antonio Callaway. Hopefully, the Browns get Jarvis Landry back. They're hopeful that the 1 extra day will help him clear the concussion protocol. And I think that the likes of OBJ, Landry, and Callaway are going to be pretty hard to stop, especially from that secondary.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, guess what? Jess, Ben just said your defense sucks. So,
well, his offensive line has to hold our defensive line. So if we get in the backfield after, the chump Baker Mayfield, then our secondary will have a good day.
Ben, she just said your offensive line sucks. Okay, I'm sorry. That was fun. Okay, well, she wasted no time. Oh, she's a firecracker, y'all. I can tell. She's gonna. Oh, you and Angela are gonna have fun in week 9. Anyway, here we go, y'all. So, go ahead. I guess maybe that was it. And if that was it, then just go ahead and say that was it. But if not, you have a full minute. Go ahead and tell us what you think is weak on the Browns that you think you guys can exploit and take advantage of to help you guys win this thing on Monday night.
I'm going to say your quarterback. I think if we rattle his cage enough, which we will with our front 7, I think we have this game. I mean, I'm going to stay humble. I'm not going to, over predict, but I think we'd have this game if we get in the backfield and rattle his cage.
Wow. Okay, so I like how you defended your team immediately. Didn't even wait for me to ask you, so I think that was pretty awesome. But Ben, go ahead, man. You have 30 seconds on the clock. Defend your team.
I think that our offensive line is going to surprise some people. The interior line has actually played very well the entire year. And the Browns got Chris Hubbard back this past weekend, and he actually played a very, very good game. Greg Robinson's been a little bit shaky so far this year, I will admit. But I think if they keep Chubb in there to chip a little bit, I think Baker's going to be fine as long as they get creative with the play calling. They're not calling the big, getting the 5-step drops and things. His release was a lot faster in the Baltimore game. He cleaned that up a lot, for that game. I think.
Okay, sorry about that. Finish your thought. That was just the bell, dude. Go ahead and finish your thought. Sorry about that, Ben.
No, that was it.
Okay, sorry about that. I hit it right now at 30 seconds, but I was like, oh crap! Like you guys couldn't hear it because I had it on mute. Only the listeners could hear it. But then, sorry guys, I had it all loud. Sorry guys. So, all right, good job, man. All right, so continuing on, let's go ahead and jump on in. So we finished that up there with the back and forth. Now let's go to the game plan and go back and forth. So this is going to be fun. All right, Ben, start us off, man. Give us your game plan for the Browns to go on the road and beat these 49ers in Santa Clara. Let us know, man. What do your Browns have to do to beat these guys? And we'll wait for the final scores at the end of this. So, go ahead, man. Let us know. What's your game plan for your Browns to beat the Niners?
Well, offensively, they need to mix it up. They need to keep the run-pass balance about 50-50. They need to avoid getting away from the run early if they get down. I don't think they were ever really down in the Ravens game, but the run game wasn't working early on, and thank goodness they kept going to it until it started to work. That's what they have to do, and I think they're going to have to play a lot of heavy sets. I believe I've never heard numbers used more than I have this year, but I think it's 12, where you got one running back and two tight ends. That Baker is most comfortable in those sets. He's got his highest completion percentage out of that, so I'd like to see that on offense. And then on defense, I think they're just going to have to mix it up a little bit. I don't think they're going to be able to sit back as much as they did in the Rams game. I think they're going to have to blitz a little bit to try to get after Garoppolo. They're going to have to trust these backup defensive backs that have played pretty well through 2 weeks. And I think they're just going to have to be willing to get into some one-on-one situations and take their chances.
I like it. All righty. It's perfect time. I actually used a little bit over a minute. I didn't want to ring the bell, though. I was kind of rude. That's my bad. But great stuff, dude. Perfect timing. And I like your game plan. So, Jess from Jersey, you've heard everything he had to say right now about his game plan. Tell us why, in 30 seconds, tell us why you think it's actually a pretty good game plan versus your team, or, oh, no, homie, it's not going down that way, not going to happen. Let us know. You got 30 seconds, Jess. What you got?
Yeah, it's not going to happen that way. Like I said, you know what? Our D-line, they're going to, they'll swallow up Nick Chubb, Baker Mayfield. It'll give our secondary an easy day.
Wow. Very confident, Miss Jess. Very confident. So I like it.
Always.
I love that. So, with that said, let's continue on with your game plan. You have a full minute on the clock. Let us know. What is your game plan to defeat the Browns on Monday night?
We need to run the ball well. Tevin Coleman might be coming back. I don't know if they're going to have 4 running backs active. But we need to run the ball well, open up the pass game, maybe get George Kittle more involved than we have the past 3 weeks, and we should be good to go.
Okay, well, there you go. All right, so there is Jess's game plan. So, what's up, Ben? You have 30 seconds on the clock, man. Tell her. Do you think that's actually a pretty good game plan, or sorry, Jess, it's just not going down that way?
I don't know. Teams have been able to move the ball a little bit on the Browns, but then the Browns have been pretty opportunistic defense. I believe that if they try passing over the middle to Kittle a whole lot, they're going to turn the ball over. You're going to see Joe Schobert or Mac Wilson make at least one big play. I think the Browns' front four, they're pretty good. They got a pretty good chance to put hurting on the 49ers run game.
Okay, I like it. So we got ourselves a little back and forth there, but once again, still very respectful. I loved it. So, in conclusion, here we go. In conclusion, we have the final scores, and I just want to ask y'all both, man, if you don't want to, okay, you don't want to give your final score, you don't have to. I know some people are superstitious, and that's okay. But if you would like to, go right on ahead. So we'll start with you, Mr. Ben. You are the away team. Let us know, man. If you will predict a final score, if you'd like to, what will it be on Monday night?
I'll give you a prediction. I think it's going to be Browns 31, 49ers 20, and the Browns will go to 3-0 on the road for the first time since 1994.
Wow, I was 6. No, I was 5. I was 5 years old. Anyway, so okay, that works. Okay, cool. All right. So next up here, all right, Miss Jess, it's all you. What you got? What's your final score? If you'd like to make your prediction for Monday night.
I'm going to go 28-17, San Francisco 49ers, and we move to 4-0, and still the only undefeated team in the NFC.
I like that. Wow, I love it. I'm telling you, I love the enthusiasm. I love the confidence. But I love you. Both of you are really Like, no, this is the way it's going. I love it. You guys are all for your teams. That's the way it should be. That was a great face-off. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Mr. Ben White and Miss Jess from Jersey. Incredible job. That was a fun one. Really happy. Thank you both for being on tonight's show. But it's not over yet. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, no, no. We have the final voting poll in. And it was a close one. It was actually the same exact percentage as the last one. Oh, this is awesome for the for Sunday Night Football. So here we go. Y'all ready?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. And with 53% of the votes, you, the listeners, are going with the Cleveland Browns to win this thing on the road. Oh my gosh. What a close battle. Ben, what do you got to say about that to the listeners, man?
I think 53% are right.
Jess?
You know, we'll always be the underdogs. So I'm happy with that. We'll just see what happens Monday night.
I love it, and personally, that was a great battle. I really enjoyed that. Nice and respectful, but good stuff all along the way. It was really good stuff. Really excited for you two, for both of for your teams. Best luck to you both, and I'm really excited for what's to come. So, with that said, here we go, y'all. We are ready to rock and roll. On to, of course, the ending segment to give our final picks and the weigh-in. Mike will be returning in a few moments, or in a few minutes actually after the break. But I just want to say thank you so much once again from the bottom of my heart. You guys are awesome. You ladies and gentlemen are awesome. Mr. Ben White and Miss Jess from Jersey. So let's go ahead and end it with the final plugs. So Ben, you know the drill, man. Where can these diehard Browns fans listening right now find you on Twitter and any works you may do, any podcasts, anything you'd like to share, man? Where can all these diehard Browns fans and football fans find you?
For right now, it's just on Twitter at WhiteyB11.
Sounds good. And you, Miss Jess, where can all these diehard 49ers fans, the 49er faithful, find you on Twitter and anything else you'd like to share?
Just on Twitter at JM41484. Go Niners.
All right. There we go, y'all. It's going to be a good one on Monday night. Really excited for that. This is going to be a good one overall. So, anyway, y'all, that will do it for the third and final primetime face-off of the evening. We actually did it, y'all. We got through the first episode of 3 and Out this season. Took to week 5, but it's okay. To actually have all 6 people, all 3 primetime face-offs. So, really excited for that. And, so let's keep it rolling now. I gotta do my best to keep it rolling. But with that said, y'all, great job once again to Mr. Ben White and Jess from Jersey. And, well, when we get back, we'll be giving our final weigh-in. Mike and myself will be giving our final weigh-ins for those games. And, of course, our picks for week number 5. Hang tight, y'all. We will be right back. You're listening to 3 and Out right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Wrestling fans in the podcast world, you are in the right place to listen to the right show, the premier show in the professional wrestling podcasting world. This is Ring Rambling Radio, and you are listening to one of the co-hosts. I am Martin Sandoval, a.k.a. the SoCal Saint, along with my 2 co-hosts, the lovely Felicia and my boy Matt. Yes, every Saturday or every other Saturday morning, you can listen to us, the premier wrestling team, giving you the premier wrestling news, rumors, updates, event discussions, everything that has to do with professional wrestling. You're in the right place. IE Sports Radio presents Ring Rambling Radio. Don't miss it, because it's just too sweet.
Two Wheels Wednesday is the place to come for all your motorcycle sports news every Wednesday on IE Sports Radio with myself, Matt White. All the latest news, rumours, race reviews and previews from World and British Superbikes and the big one, MotoGP. Two Wheels Wednesday, every Wednesday on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sport.
Hi, I'm Phil Robinson, running points, setting up Phil Jones for the finish. Join us every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, as we break down the week in basketball on the home for Real Talk Sports Radio, IESportsRadio.com.
Drivers, start your engines. Auto racing takes many forms, from the close quarter contact of NASCAR
to the high-speed, high-risk atmosphere of IndyCar,
all the way to the pinnacle of technology with the Formula One World Championship.
No matter if you prefer the high banks of Daytona,
the concrete canyons of Long Beach,
or the flowing curves of the Nürburgring,
the international language of motorsports is simple. Go fast,
run hard,
and come home first.
So join us, myself, Darrell Kinsey Jr.,
Lolita Camello,
and Michael Ward,
on a world tour of all the best motorsports has to offer on the Extra Mile, Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, only on your home for all. That is sports. IE Sports Radio.
Attention, all sports fans! If you're someone who wakes up each morning with lists of sporting events to go along with your to-do list for the day, then you just might be a diehard. The world of sports is as vast as the ocean is deep, including the major leagues, the minor leagues, the college, and everything in between. This is me, your boy LARvsSEA of IE Sports Radio, welcoming you to join me every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on The Defining Moment, a show that focuses on what really matters in the sports world, sports themselves, and nothing outside of them. Once again, tune in for The Defining Moment with me, your boy LARvsSEA, every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on IE Sports Radio, right here on Spreaker.com. We'll see you there.
Welcome back, football fans. Well, there you have it. I mean, what a great night. Once again, y'all, gigantic applause for all of our combatants tonight. That was awesome. Oh, we had a complete show tonight. Great stuff all the way through. And before we get into the final weigh-in, I'm really excited for this, guys. I really am. I don't really want to spoil it, but I don't know, I've been thinking about it. This is the take for the whole show, and I think it's just going to be awesome. So, we here at IE Sports Radio are really branching and doing a lot of things. We got our blog, of course, that we're doing now that I'm more free after my craziness of September, getting all through the first part of my master's and switching things around on my schedule and the whole bit. Now that I'm a little more lax and we're good to go, you'll see the newsletter a lot more, you'll see the blog more, you'll see lots of things, of course, kind of shaping up, more shows. We now have our 15th show. My gosh, this is awesome. Set Point, our brand new volleyball show with Taryn Rodriguez. Great stuff. But, we have a brand new show idea that was proposed by Mr. Mike Pad a couple weeks ago. Actually, like a while back, but we were talking about it. And, he just let me know a little bit ago that he wants to pursue this idea, and I think it's going to be absolutely awesome that he does this. It'll more than likely mean, it will mean the departure of Mike from 3 and Out, but it's okay. He's always welcome here back on the show, but really excited that he wants to branch off and do his own thing. He's going to be staying right here on the network. Mike's not going anywhere, guys. He's just going to be doing his own show, and as I always said, man, the guy deserves his own show. As I always say, he should be hosting 3 and Out. He's the real deal. Glad to have him here a part of this, and the guy is awesome, man. So, with that said, for a few minutes, Mike, before we go ahead and get into our final weigh-ins and make our picks, man, tell the listeners a little bit about your idea for the show.
All right, y'all. So my idea for my show, it's just going to be a little like 1 hour show, probably on Sunday. That's the most consistent day I've got off in the week, so that'll probably be the day. And it'll be after football season, so no confliction with, NFL, anything like that. So the title of the show is going to be Let's Whine About Sports. For those of you who don't know, I currently work in the wine industry. I'm a assistant manager for Total Wine & More in Raleigh, North Carolina. And so my current passion is for wine, and I also, of course, have the ongoing passion for sports. So I figured let's intertwine the two. So the basic structure of the show is going to be I'm going to, for an hour, I will pick 2 topics. And of course, there will be various what's the word I'm looking for? Anyways, I'll explain more in detail when we actually get to the show. So basically, there will be a type of wine I will be drinking that day. Now, I will only drink 1 glass per segment, so it will be limit 2 glasses in an hour. I won't be driving anywhere, and I will be eating food, and I will be promoting, responsible drinking, all that stuff. But I'll basically introduce the wine, just a little spiel in the beginning, and then I'll go on to rant about sports. So it's going to be a nice little intersection between 2 of the current passions of my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, that deserves an applause. That is an awesome idea that I was like, dude, that is cool. Because, once again, we're promoting, definitely promoting safe driving, and not drinking into that. But it's awesome because Mike the wine industry is huge, guys. Like, seriously, the wine industry is gigantic, and it's it's huge, and it's awesome that, like literally, Mike found a way to really intertwine something that is not the easiest thing to intertwine, and then also came up with an incredibly cool name. I mean, you can't script that kind of stuff, all right? I mean, it's just, I was like, I know, that was kind of lame, whatever, but I guess it's true, though. You can't, like, it's awesome. Like, I absolutely loved the idea, and I'm really excited for it. So, once again, I mean, hey, we definitely will be excited for Mike and, what's to come for him, outside of 3 and Out, but I tell you right now, this is going to be a great show, and Sundays, I mean, that's just a cozy, nice day to kick back and whine about sports. I love it. So, great stuff, man.
Yeah. So there will be 2 topics per show. It'll be basically split in half. There'll probably be a break in between for me to eat something, and obviously refill my glass, naturally. The first topic I'm planning, since I'm introducing the one, will have slightly shorter timeline than the second one. That's probably going to be some form of Homer topic. I'm not going to lie. Those of you who read our blog know I write often about my favorite teams. I am a fan of every Washington, D.C. sports team. I know, cry for me now. And then I'm also an FSU fan. I went to FSU for my undergraduate degree, so I'm a big FSU fan. And I'm not going to say I'm the biggest fan, but I do support both Baltimore, Maryland franchises, the Ravens and the Orioles. So between all of those, I'm sure I'll be able to pick out 1 topic a week that will be a Homer topic. And then the other topic will kind of be of my choosing, whatever's the hot button.
Well, that's going to be exciting. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off, man. What was that last part? My bad, dude.
Oh, whatever the hot button topic is that time of year, obviously if it was October, I'd have so many things to pick from, but, January, probably, NBA, NHL, NFL playoffs, top choices. I got choices.
Well, that's going to be exciting. Definitely looking forward to that, Mike, and thanks for the great idea, man, and for also sticking here at IE Sports Radio, man. You got your home here, and hey, man, we're just a big family who loves sports, right?
100% all the way.
Absolutely. So with that said, y'all, here we go. Time for those NFL Week 5 picks. off to week number 5 in the NFL. Here we go, Mike. Pick number 1 on the week. We'll save the prime times until the end. Going on to Sunday. Looks like we have, the 10 a.m. games on the West Coast, the 1 p.m. games on the East Coast. Well, it's the same exact time as these games, so it should be like, 7-ish over there, or 6 around there in England. But jolly old England will have the Bears taking on the Raiders. The Bears at 3-1, looking pretty strong. The Raiders coming off a pretty big victory in Indianapolis, and, the Raiders are 2-2. Who you got, Mike, and why?
Well, you can't play home field advantage in this one because they're in London, so both teams are kind of, at the disadvantage there. I'll lean towards the Bears in this one. That defense is lights out, and the Raiders, while they've got a good offense, I think this is one that with a really strong defense on this other side can be crushed, and the team might actually roll pretty well with Chase Daniel at quarterback, the Bears. So I'm going to go with the Bears, but I think it's going to be a defensive battle, probably like 17-14.
I would love to see defensive battle. That's exactly what I think it's going to be. I think 14-7. The Raiders find a way to hold that offense, and we actually can compete with that defense. I'm really excited for the Raiders. For the first time, I'm not going to say anything bad. I believe in you guys. I always have. I know I talk crap. It is what it is. But I love my team, and I want to see them do better. Let's go, Raiders. Raider Nation for life, baby. We're going to win this one 14-7 in London. Next up, Cardinals 0-3-1. Bengals 0-4. Wow, this is another game that the Bengals are involved in that yet neither team has a victory. Mr. Mike Pat, we do the honors of who gets their first victory this week.
Oh man, I'm going to go with the Cardinals here, mostly because they appear to be playing pretty competitive football. They just haven't quite found their groove, found their gel yet. And if the same Cincinnati team shows up that showed up in Pittsburgh last night or a couple nights ago, they're not winning a game anytime soon. They got a lot of stuff to figure out. So I'm actually going to go with the Cardinals on the road here.
I agree. I think Kyler Murray is going to kick it into overdrive and do big things. And long story short, I think the Cardinals are going to have enough to get this done. The Bengals just need work. Bills at 3-1, Titans at 2-2. The Bills hung tight. They hung so. This is like one of my favorite games of the week. I'm just seeing it for the first time. The Bills are going to fight the Titans. They fought the Patriots and they looked good. The Titans just shut out. Well, didn't shut out, but might as well have been. But they just knocked off a very tough Falcons team. But are they that tough, or are they just actually just getting lost in their own transition? Oh, not transition, but are they just lost? Like, are the Falcons no longer that big tough team? Regardless, the Titans are looking pretty sharp right now. They're going to be at home. The Bills are just a good football team that I think can win pretty much wherever, and they almost beat the Patriots with a 6-point game. Gonna be a good one. Mike, who you got?
I have no idea what to think about the Titans. This team is one of the more inconsistent teams I think we've seen this year. Really, truly night and day. But at the same time, they're at home, and Josh Allen's still in concussion protocol, so we don't really know his full status for this upcoming week. And if he doesn't play, the Bills really, I don't think, have a good chance of winning this game. So I'm going to lean with the Titans, although if Allen plays, it could really go either way.
That's a really good. I didn't even know that he was in concussion protocol. I know, shows how much I know. Been busy, all my bad. But yeah, if Allen doesn't play, that's definitely, I think, a victory for the Titans. But regardless, the Titans are going to be at home. They're going to be tough. They're going to play really tough. I don't know at all if this is a good defense. Ed Oliver, I've been all over him as a big fan of his. The guy is a beast at the 3 technique or in the interior defensive line. But regardless, Mariota is a contract year for this guy. He's playing at a high level, very high level right now. He's doing everything he can. And this is a good Titans team. I'm really excited for this team moving forward. It's going to be a close one. I'm going to go final score. Actually, for the Bengals and Cardinals, sorry, I didn't pick a final score. I'm going to go 24-17 Cardinals, and then Bills and Titans, I'm going to go 31-14 Titans over the Bills. Next up, we have the Buccaneers at 2-2. They are coming off of a very impressive victory over the Rams and the Saints. This team just took out a very, very good Cowboys team, and it was a 2-point victory, but hey, a win's a win. This is going to be a great NFC South battle. Mike, who you got?
I'm going to go with the Saints in this one. Tampa Bay is coming off a great win against the Rams, but playing in New Orleans is a different level. We've all seen that over the last few years, even without Drew Brees. Teddy Bridgewater
That's a good score. I think that's a good score. Next up, we have. I'm going to say the Saints win this thing in a good football game. I think the Buccaneers are going to fight them. I'm going to go for 24-21. Saints win this thing, but barely. The Buccaneers are back, guys. They are here. Vikings at Giants. Vikings at 2-2. They're just coming off a tough loss from those Bears. Giants, they're high on life right now. They just. I mean, I know the Redskins aren't necessarily the toughest team out there right now, but, well, it may be a different story. The Vikings are coming to town to MetLife. What do you got, Mike?
Strangely enough, I'm going to go with the Giants in this one. I know that's crazy, but, Minnesota's another one of those teams that hasn't shown me any consistency so far. They just got squashed, admittedly, against a really good Bears team, but they could get nothing going. And with the Stephon Diggs drama going on, it makes the job that much easier for the Giants. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Giants can do this. I'm going to say 24-21.
That's a great score. I'm going to say 31-24. The Giants win this thing, too. I think the Giants are just a tough team.
Who would have thought we would be predicting the Giants would have a winning record through 5 games? Who would have thought?
Right? I mean, once again, the inconsistency of the Vikings. I mean, they beat my Raiders, but once again, it was a JV team. We turned it on last week, and we looked pretty good. But the Vikings, once again, I just want to see more consistency. I think the Giants win another one. So, we'll see. Jets, okay, we got 5 minutes left, so we got to go rapid fire. My bad. Okay, so, 0-3 Jets, 2-2 Eagles. Oh, this is fun. Mike?
Eagles, home team. Jets haven't shown anything. No Darnold.
That's about as quick as I was thinking for this one, guys. Eagles all day. Jets, sorry. Ravens, and I'm going to go final score. I'm going to say 31-10. Ravens, 2-2. Steelers, 1-3. Oh, no. Mike?
Man, that's a tough one. I'm going to go with the Steelers at home here. I think they've shown a little bit more creativity in their offense, and they are at home.
Okay, that's a good one. I'm going to say Ravens. I just don't see that from the Steelers. I'm going to say 24-10. Ravens win this one on the road. Patriots at 4-0. Redskins at 0-4. I'm sorry, Mike.
Pass. I just don't want to.
I don't blame him. I just haven't seen anything from the Redskins. I'm just going to not be mean. I'm going to say 21-7. Patriots win this one on the road. Jaguars 2-2. Panthers 2-2. This could be actually pretty good. Mike?
This is actually going to be a really good game. I'm going to go, you know what? We got our man John on our team, so I'm going to continue to support the Panthers. I think the Panthers win this one at home field advantage. Plus, Christian McCaffrey is playing his butt off right now.
I agree. I'm going to say Panthers win this one 17-7 in a pretty good defensive battle. It's going to be a fun one there. Falcons 1-3, Texans 2-2. This one shouldn't be that hard. Mike?
I mean, you call these teams paper teams and you keep looking for them. I don't know where either of these teams are. I'll go with the home team and the Texans.
Me too.
But I have no idea who's going to show up on either side.
I can agree. I think they're both paper teams. Texans are kind of on the teetering line. I'm going to say 21-14 Texans win. Broncos at 0-4. Chargers at 2-2. Will the Broncos losing a field goal again? I'm just kidding. Mike, what you got?
Yeah, why not? We'll say Broncos lose. We'll say, let's see, what's a good field goal score? 24-21.
I'm going to say 31-28. Chargers win on the field goal. Packers at 3-1. Cowboys at 3-1. This is a good battle right here, Mike.
Oh, yeah, both these teams coming off losses. Dallas is not an impossible place to play. I'm going with Aaron Rodgers here. I'm going to take the Packers in a road upset.
I like it. You know what? That's a good pick. I'm going to go Packers with a road upset as well. I'm going to say 24-7. No, not 24-7. I'm going to say 24-21. Another one of my favorite scores right there. Boom. All right, and the primetime games. Rams, Seahawks. Who you got, Mike?
Oh, man. This is going to be a great game. I think this might be the game of the week right here. I can't put any faith in the Rams defense after what I saw last week, and it's Russell Wilson at home. I'm going to go with the Seahawks here, but I think it's going to be a pretty high-scoring affair. I'm going to say, and, feel free to raise your eyebrows at this one, I'm going to say 42-35. I think it's going to be that much offense.
That sucks. Just kidding, it would be a good one. So you got Seahawks?
Yeah, Seahawks, 42-35.
I'm taking the Seahawks on the road as well. Not that high scoring. I'm going to say 27-17. Seahawks find a way to win this one on the road. All right, Mike, we got about maybe 40 seconds. So, Colts, 2-2. Chiefs, 4-0. Who you got?
Chiefs. 28-17.
You know what? That's a great score. Chiefs, I think you're going to win this one. 35-21. Chiefs are just a tough team. And Monday night, Browns 2-2, Niners 3-0. Who you got?
I'm going with the upset. I think Browns on the road, 31-27.
I like it as well. I'm going Browns on the road to win this one, 27-14. A weird score, but I think they're going to get done. All right, y'all. That's going to do it. Cue the music, because we're out of here. All right, y'all. That will do it. Mike Pat, where can these diehard fans find you, boy?
Find me on Twitter, MikePat91, and you can also go to the IE Sports Radio blog at WordPress.com to check out our latest writings.
I love it, and that's it, y'all. You can catch me, your boy Larry B, at VCHE_LB53. You can follow us all as a whole on Instagram and Twitter at IE Sports Radio. Give us a like on Facebook at IE Sports Radio. We'd certainly like that. And stay tuned, y'all, because Season 6 of The Neutral Zone starts now. For me, your boy Larry B, for Mr. Mike Pat, that was a great show. Thanks to all of our guests. We'll see you next week. Until then, take care, and as always, God bless.